Alton Blakely Ford offers complimentary lifetime powertrain protection with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle we sell. Engine covered, transmission covered, drive axles covered for life. You're covered as long as you own it. And that's on every qualifying new and pre-owned car, truck, and SUV, even diesel trucks. Shop with complete confidence and peace of mind with Alton Blakely's complimentary lifetime powertrain protection program. Alton Blakely Ford, South Highway 27 Somerset, and altonblakely.com.
The Indians have won the toss and have elected to receive. Somerset will be kicking off from left to right as the captains head back to their teams to get things going. We're going to have football here in about 4 minutes and 6 seconds.
I'd like to give a big shout out to Bob Boone, who took a hiatus already in week 2 to travel up to Columbus to see his Ohio State Buckeyes, which I'm sure, being a Michigan fan, you just love to give Bob all the grief in the world about that one team that he cheers for.
Yeah, and unfortunately, I mean they play a schedule early on. There's not a whole lot of strength to that schedule, so unfortunately, I think Ohio State will probably pull out the win this week. But Bob has gone up there. I hope he has a great time up in Columbus with his friends and gets to watch Ohio State. I'm not going to say I hope they come home with a victory, but speaking of college football, Robert, while we're sitting here waiting for this going on, high school football got started last week. College football had a semi-start last week with SEC play, SEC, Florida, and Miami.
Right.
They have a big schedule coming up tomorrow in college football.
Yeah, they do. And the game that I'm looking forward most to watching is Oregon and Auburn. It's a battle of ranked teams right off the first. But, of course, I'm going to be watching the Kentucky-Toledo game. Grew up here in the state of Kentucky. Been a lifelong Kentucky fan. Been through the hard times. Went through a great year last year. Looking forward to another kickoff coming up tomorrow.
Yeah, it should be fun. I know that the Kentucky faithful is looking forward to it as well. They had the season that they had last year with Josh Allen and Benny Snell that have now moved on to the NFL. And I know that they're looking to come back and duplicate that performance and go to another bowl game. And Coach Stoops has done everything recruiting-wise. Unfortunately, you recruit the way that you do in the SEC. He's had one of the top recruiting classes in the country, number 33, I think it was, and he's still ninth in the SEC.
Isn't that crazy that you can be you can have one of the top 30 classes in the nation and still be dead last in the SEC? Well, I'm thinking about some football games of local interest, I should say. Tonight, Pulaski County drives to Wayne County to take on the Cardinals. And also, our Southwestern Warriors will travel to Madison Southern, which is not far from where we sit tonight, and hopes to pull out both of their first wins of the season.
Yes, sir. And, both those teams took it on the chin last week. I know Pulaski County was in control for most of that game, but wasn't able to pull it out. So,
yeah, they go up 14-0 on a Lexington Catholic team with a young man at quarterback who's already committed to the University of Kentucky. Showed a lot of poise for that team to come back and rally to take the lead and win the game 21-14. Southwestern, they played Belfry right off the gate. That's never going to be an easy task for anybody.
We're about a minute away from kickoff as we get ready to go here. Daniel Richardson's getting the ball teed off. He's going to kick it off for the Briar Jumpers tonight. Daniel started off the game last week as doing the kickoff duties in the first half. Did a pretty good job, and they let senior Tommy Wombles come in and kick off for the second half. Back deep for the Indians, you're going to have Austin Eichenberger and Nick Huff back right at the goal line position for the Indians to receive the opening kickoff here. Now we're 45 seconds away. Everybody's on the field. Referees are lined up. Faithful's in the crowd, and all we're doing now is we're waiting for the clock to reach 0 so we can
Well, it looks like they've gone ahead and marked it 2-0 to get this game underway. And look across the field, you see the Somerset faithful. They're ready for kickoff as well, as long as this crowd right here in front of us. Should be a great night for football.
Yes, I agree with you. It's a little bit warm, but it is cooling off. The sun is trying to go down. So hopefully we're going to have a great night of football. And Richardson puts the foot to it. It's a short kick. He kicks it down to about the 25-yard line. The Indian return man, that was Alex Eisen, called for a fair catch and then decided he wanted to try to run a little bit afterwards, but the referee's going to leave him right there.
I'll admit that I did miss the fair catch signal. I was kind of wondering what kind of a penalty that might have been. The pursuit of the Somerset defense on special teams right there really, really caused that fair catch.
Yeah. So we have Montgomery. They are huddling on the side of on their sideline right now. Briar Jumper defense is out ready. Montgomery comes out. They're going to come straight to the line of scrimmage. And starting at quarterback for Montgomery County, well, they're going to huddle. They've huddled on the sideline. They're going to huddle there right in front of the ball. This is that sugar huddle we were talking about a yard off the ball. Center turns right around. Quarterback comes up to the line of scrimmage, and he was going to snap it quick and then thought about it. Quarterback Alex Hatton, 6'1", 177-pound senior, takes the snap. He hands off to the second man through right up the middle. And Cale Todd and Chaz Gilmore there on the tackle.
Yeah, right in there on the stop. Pretty quick on the defense to get right past the line just a bit before the middle linebacker collapsed down and made that play.
Gain of about 3 on the play, so it's going to be second and about 7 from the Indians' 27-yard line. Handoff again on the play, but we have flags on the play. They're going to blow it dead. See, if we had some motion on the offense here.
I think 2 people in the backfield went in motion at the same time.
Yes, and it's going to be procedure on the Indians, so we're going to back them up 5 yards and replay second down.
It's all right. Maybe take another huddle and figure it out. Old school enough to appreciate a huddle that lasts more than just a couple of seconds to get a play on field. But, if they've got their system working down to their own science, I guess they can do it their way.
Yeah, that's true. So here we are now. We're going to replay second down. It's going to be 2nd and 12.
Yeah, that play went absolutely nowhere.
Alex Hatton turned around and handed off to...
Looks like Big Gerard Smith right there in the middle making his start. That's a pretty impressive start for a young man who's a freshman this year.
Yes, it is. And he handed off to Josh Wheaton, and there was nowhere for him to go. He was hit immediately in the backfield. So that's going to bring up 3rd and about 11 for the Indians. So we're going to see if they're going to continue to run or they're going to pass the ball a little bit here. And he drops back to pass. He's got a man down the field open, goes up and gets it. And a great defensive play over there by Ricky Gilmore at the cornerback position.
Ricky Gilmore was beat by about a step, but that one small pause that the receiver made right before he made the jump gave him just enough time to make some closure and actually get in on the defensive play.
Yeah, so that brings up 4th and 11 for the Indians, and they're going to drop back to punt here, and that's going to bring, looks like number 47 back for the Indians, Zane Carter, and Kay Grundy is back deep for the Briar Jumpers.
Good defensive stand, first series out of the game. Let's see what they've got on the offensive side of the ball.
He puts the foot to it. It's an end-over kick. It's short and goes out of bounds. Looked to be right around the 50-yard line. The referee is walking up the sidelines waiting for a mark, and it's going to come back onto the Indian side of the field where the Briar Jumpers are going to have 1st and 10 at the Indians' 49-yard line.
The 49-yard line is good position to start your first drive of the game. Let's see if they can capitalize by making, kind of like they did against the Rockcastle Get the County game where they capitalized big early. See if they try to pull the same rabbit out of the hat.
So Kaya Sharon is going to start the game at quarterback with Alex Miller behind him, 2 wide receivers right, Grundy and Gilmore. Kaya drops back to pass, and he's got Grundy again wide open down the field, and that's going to be a 49-yard touchdown from Kaya Sharon to Kay Grundy to open the scoring.
That's right. That'll be a Citizens National Bank touchdown. Maybe I should be on the offensive team over here and call plays for these guys and help that one out. I hate to say that I called that, but I kind of called that.
Yes, you sure did. And so far, to begin the season, that's 2 plays, first play of the game on offense both times, and they have scored both times, first play to Kay Grundy on big plays. Daniel Richardson going to try to add the point after attempt, holds down, the kick is up, and it is through. And with 10 minutes and 33 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Briar Jumpers lead 7-0.
Henderson Chiropractic committing to relieving your pain using the true principles of chiropractic care. Their caring, helpful team strives for excellence through extraordinary service and patient education. Dr. Henderson provides chiropractic care for injuries that occur during sports, auto accidents, work-related activities, and just everyday wear and tear. The experience you need for the results you want, that's Henderson Chiropractic.
Well, Robert, so far, they have done exactly what they needed to do. They came in, they've stopped the Indians' rushing attack and forced a punt. Came out, very first play of the game, throw it down the field to K. Grundy, and they're up 7-0 with 10:33 to go in the game. 10:33 in the first quarter. I apologize.
No, that's okay. When you got two weapons like that, when you got Kai Sharon, who's got a big arm, and K. Grundy, who runs I've heard every number thrown at me, but we're going to say right at about that 4-5 range. When you got a kid that can open up the field like that, and you got an arm like that to throw it to, you might as well take advantage of it.
Yeah, Daniel Richardson tees it up. You have number 2, that's Austin Eichenberger, and number 10, Nick Huff, back deep for the Indians. A deeper kick this time. Huff is going to take the ball at the 10-yard line. He comes back up the middle, and he gets hit initially. Looks like that it was Gerard Smith again. Hit him initially and then spun off of him, and he finally gets wrapped up right at their own 25-yard line. So the Indians are going to start 1st and 10 from the 25.
The initial hit came about the 22-yard line, and he was able to make a couple little spin moves forward and gain about 3 extra tough yards, I should say.
Yes, that is true. So the Indians start off in the huddle on the sideline again. They come right out. They're going to go to their huddle, 1 yard back. Briar Jumpers are ready for them to go. They're looking to see what's going to happen here. They have 1 receiver split wide left, 3 backs in the backfield straight across, and it's a handoff right back up to the fullback, who we talked about. Coach Lucas talked about the pregame, Josh Wheaton, who's going to get the majority of the carries, and he took it right at the line of scrimmage, was hit, was able to fall forward for about 2 yards, and that linebacking core for the Jumpers, Kel Todd, Jace Bruner, and Cam Austin stepped in there and wouldn't let him go any further.
Yeah, I'm already drawing a blank. Kel Todd came in there and laid the first hit, make the stop. The rest of the team, guess you call that the jump-on pile tackle, but you'll take those. It only gained 2 yards, cloud of dust. You run that 3 times, you're not going to get a first down off this Jumper defense.
Little counter here for the Indians.
Ooh.
And
yeah, I saw that flag getting ready to happen. One of the defenders reached out, grabbed the jersey right around the neck. You're not going to get away with that one right there in front of the Montgomery County team. Yeah,
Jaden Akers, they came up quick, and they ran a little counter action around the near sideline, and Jaden Akers took the ball up close to the first down, but as Robert said, reached out, grabbed him up around the shoulder pads, and the new rule this year does not have to be pulled down by the nameplate and pulled back. Anytime you get a hand inside the shoulder pad and pull him down, they're going to call that horse collar.
Well, you're going to get 15 free yards on that play after a pretty nice run. You give the Montgomery County offense a little bit better field advantage going into this drive.
Yeah, so that's going to take the ball all the way up to their own 49-yard line, and it's going to give them 1st and 10 from their own 49. And they run up to the huddle or to the line of scrimmage quick again and hand it back right off the middle again to Josh Wheaton, and he's clogged up right there again.
It's going to be hard to run the football straight up the middle on this Briar Jumper defense. The Jace Bruner and Gerard Smith and Kel Todd, I don't have the weights right in front of me, but you're probably running at an easy 750 pounds of beef right in the middle. It's not going to go too far too often.
Yes, that is true. So here we go. It's short. He did get about 3 yards. They gave him a good spot again, so we're going to be 2nd and 7.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say the same thing. It was a favorable spot.
And he turns around. He fakes it to up the middle and hands it off to number 18, and that's number 23. That's Mikey Garland. Just put his helmet right on, and there was nowhere for him to go at that point.
Yeah, that was a Mikey Garland hello hit, but looks like Mikey might have taken some of that shot too. He's bending over on the field a little bit, but hopefully he's okay.
Well, after that, he stopped right at the line. It's going to be 3rd and 7 for the Briar Jumpers here. Defense looking to hold again and force a punt. And the exact same play up the middle there. The little veer right up the play. Alex Hatton turned around, fakes the handoff, turns around and hands it off to Jaden Akers, and he goes right up the middle, gains about 2 yards on the play, but it's going to bring up 4th and about 5, so there's a decision to be made. I don't see much of a punting unit coming on the field, so looks like they will go for it from the Briar Jumpers 46.
Right, that's about the same starting spot that the Briar Jumper offense got at last quarter, last play, so we'll see what they've got.
Alex Hatton goes under center, starts to call the plays, looks over to the sideline, and they decide they're going to take a timeout and talk about it, Robert.
All right, with 7:26 left to go in the game, the score is Somerset 7, Montgomery County 0. Get my paperwork together here. It's the Hurry Up and Save sale at Alton Blakely Ford, and for the first time ever, you can get an estimated savings up to 20% MSRP on select new Fords. Plus, complimentary maintenance through the Pass Rewards. That's right, save an estimated 20% off MSRP on the 2019 Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck for the past 42 years, or choose 0% for 72 months with approved credit. Alton Blakely Ford on South Highway 27 in Somerset and at altonblakelyford.com. 20% off, zero finance, cannot be combined. Chris, as the team comes out on the field after that timeout, I was kind of expecting them to try the old long count to try to draw the defense off sides to get the free yardage. After the timeout, it'd be interesting to see what they decide to do after this.
Yeah, now they went over and talked about it, and they came out now. Looks like they are going to go for it, and it's a play fake. He's looking deep down the field. Gilmore in good coverage. There was some bumping, and there is a flag on the play, multiple flags on the play. Looks like we are going to have pass interference on Ricky Gilmore.
Yeah, Gilmore was beat again by one step, was able to catch up to the defender, but wasn't able to put on the brakes enough to avoid the contact. Pass interference, you give him that 15 free yards. You could have stopped him and got the ball 1st and 10 going the opposite direction. But Somerset defense gets to rise to the occasion, see what they've got in this series.
Yes, sir. So referees are getting together and talking about it right now. We saw a couple of flags waved off last week, but I don't believe we're going to see this one. And we're going to get a holding penalty on Gilmore, and it's going to result in a 1st down. So chance to stop them right there, falls for nothing, and Indians are going to move down about 10 yards down the field, and they're going to have a 1st and 10 at the Briar Jumper 36-yard line.
Could have swore with all the contact that had been a pass interference call, but not a defensive holding. But, the Briar Jumper faithful will take it. That's 5 less yards you give to the offense.
So they come in the huddle, and Alex Hatton is ready to go. But something's just not clicking right now. Montgomery County is going to take their 2nd timeout of the 1st quarter. With 7:20 to go, the Briar Jumpers lead 7-0.
I think the team was expecting a run play. They had all 11 guys up in the box, and I think that might have actually caused that timeout.
And it could have been. I think you're exactly right. I think the Briar Jumpers are saying, okay, if you're going to try to run up the middle, we're going to take that away from you and make you run around the outside. Now, they've had a couple of plays that they've tried to do that. One of them successful with the horse collar, the other one not so much. But this time I think they were looking to do something different.
InTrust Counseling is proud to offer psychiatry, counseling, case management, medication assistance, and family practice services all under one umbrella. Please call them at 676-0638 or check out their new website at intrust-healthcare.com to get services started today. You can also find them on Facebook.
So it comes up. Here we are, 1st and 10 from the Briar Jumper 36-yard line. Hatton comes under the center. He pitches it out wide to Nick Huff, who's got the edge, and he is going to take it down the sideline for a score.
I don't know how that happened, but you had one player out there that made one block that took three Briar Jumpers down all at the same time. So you got to give the young man some credit for making that offensive play happen.
Yeah, I'm not sure who that was, Robert, out there leading the way, but you're exactly right. Somebody got out there on the edge out there and wiped out 3 Briar Jumper defenders and it just clear sailing from there.
Yep, that's what'd you say, about a 36-yard touchdown run.
Yes, sir. 36 yards around the end for a touchdown by Nick Huff.
Took almost 4.5 quarters to get the first point scored against a Briar Jumper defense.
So Montgomery County on to kick the extra point. Zane Carter, he puts a foot to it, and it's up and through. And with 7 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the first quarter, we are knotted up 7-7.
Magic Monograms has moved to 110 Creek Terrace, conveniently located off North Highway 27 between Big Lots and Backyard Burger. The place for custom embroidery, screen printing, and so much more. They can put your designs on medical and athletic uniforms, corporate and school apparel. Find them on Facebook. Search Magic Monograms and Embroidery. It's been a pretty long quarter so far, Chris. Seems like it should be much later into the game than 7 minutes and 12 seconds left to go in the first quarter.
It really has, with the 2 timeouts that Montgomery County has called, and the holding or the horse collar tackle and what's going on here. It has been a little bit drawn out. I'd like to take a moment to shout out to Jaywalk Productions 2019 SHS football Facebook group. They will be filming the entire season within the group with highlight reels, player interviews, season updates, and more. Don't miss out. Head on over to Jaywalk Productions on Facebook and join now. Montgomery County ready to kick off here from right to left, and Zane Carter is going to put a toe to it. And the Briar Jumpers have 3 receivers deep. They have Kay Grundy, that's Jaden Gilmore, and Alex Miller. And he's going to kick it right down the middle to Kay Grundy. He fields the ball right at the 10-yard line, and he's right up the middle, untouched, and he looks like he may take this one to the house. There's only one man to beat, and he is not going to get there, and Kay Grundy is going to take it 90 yards to the house for a touchdown.
Yeah, that was a quick score. When that ball hit Kay Grundy's hands, you could almost see the lane open up in the middle of the field. Beautiful vision by the young man to be able to take it straight through that hole, all the way down to the end zone, and give the lead back to the Briar Jumpers. That
is the best way to answer a long run, giving the home team a little bit of confidence to come right out, and on the next kickoff, go ahead and just take it down and take it for a touchdown.
Touchdown. You'll take those Citizens Bank touchdowns all day long.
Kay Grundy has started out the year here. He had 3 touchdowns last week, 2 touchdowns last week receiving. He's already had 2 touchdowns tonight, and the young man is having a great campaign to start off the year. Like Coach Lucas talked about in the coaches show, this is the first time that Cade has been able to join the football team as early as he has and not played baseball. So I think we're starting to see what that young man can do with a little bit of extra time on the football field.
You think he's mad at me for not picking him for the offensive player of the game last week?
That could be. The extra point is attempted by Daniel Richardson. The ball is snapped and down, and Daniel puts it up and through. And with 6 minutes and 59 seconds to go in the first quarter, the Briar Jumpers lead the Montgomery County Indians 14-7.
Wait times are short at Quick Care Walk-In Clinic. They are focused on service, and they staff the clinic to reduce time spent in the waiting room. Quick Care has lab and x-ray equipment right there in the clinic, which is another great time saver. The clinic is open and waiting for you from 9 a.m. to 7 p.m. on weekdays and 10 to 3 on Saturdays. Of course, no appointment is necessary. Just walk in when you need us. Quick Care behind the hospital in Mid Park West.
So, Robert, we've had just a little bit of half of a football, not even much of a half of football, and both teams came out 14-7, a lot of points on the board. Sun's starting to go down to where we can actually see now.
Yeah, that helps a lot. When we got here, the sun was right in our eyes, so I'm glad to see that thing finally setting off out there in the west.
Yes, sir. So Daniel Richardson is going to tee it up. He's going to kick it off from the 40-yard line. And again, you've got Austin Eichenberger and Nick Huff back deep for the Indians. The whistle's blown. Richardson puts his foot to it. It's a low kick that's going to be fielded at the 15-yard line by Jaden Akers. He's going to come right back up the middle, weave his way through to about the 34-yard line of the Indians, where they'll take over 1st and 10.
Yeah, 19-yard run by the young man. It was a beautiful catch and return. Sets him up in pretty decent field position for this drive.
So here we go. The Indians huddle up on the sideline again, and they come out quick, ready to go. Hatton is going to call the play in the huddle. They're going to have one receiver wide to the right side of the field to the top, away from us. And Hatton steps under, calls the signs, turn around, fakes it to Hatton, fakes it to the wing back, and has a man right up the middle. And again, that is Tate Madden. He's in coverage. He does a great job of knocking that ball away.
Yeah, I would love to say this, and I'm probably going to say it wrong, but he did climb. I'm not saying going to climb the back, but he was actually right over the back, reaching over, made a beautiful play with no contact, got the ball loose, incompletion, second down.
Yes, sir. Tate was in good coverage right there. And did a good job, like you said, without getting the penalty. Having a little bit of trouble with my stats here tonight, Robert. So Hatton comes up under center. He turns around, a little counter option to Jaden Akers, and a couple of Briar jumpers reaching out to grab his jersey and drag him down after about a 3-yard gain.
Yeah, big Gerard Smith made that last grab, was able to pull him down. Strong young man for a freshman. You're going to be hearing his name called a lot for the next 4 years.
So it's going to bring up, again, a long 3rd and 7 for the Indians. Hatton comes over to the sideline and gets the play, comes out to the huddle. They're going to try to get things called and get some positive yards here and see if they can't get a first down. Hatton runs up to the line of scrimmage. He calls the signals quickly, turns around, and hands it off to Wheaton. No, it's a fake to Wheaton.
Yeah, I think the turf monster rated him on that one. He was making a good cut towards the sideline. 1 foot slipped, the other one went forward.
Looks like Derek Davidson ended up carrying the ball around the right side, and you're right. He had a little bit of a lane out there, but after a gain of about 1, fell down, which is going to bring up 4th and 5 and bring on the punt team for Montgomery County.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to chance it this time. Kick it off. Looks like Kate Grundy's set to return. See if he's got enough electric to lot one up for another one.
And so they're going to, Briar Jumpers are going to talk about it. They may see something that may be a fake opportunity or something. But Coach Lucas is not happy right now. He's called his punt return team over to the sideline, and he's chewing on somebody.
A quick look at the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard. Score right now is Somerset 14, Montgomery County 7. Keeping stats and the correct score is important to players, coaches, and fans. The same can be said about keeping your taxes and finances in order. For over 26 years, the Randall D. Turpin CPA has been doing just that. If accounting is not your thing, then let the pros at Randall D. Turpin CPA do it for you. Proud sponsor of the Randall D. Turpin scoreboard, located on Parkers Mill Road in Somerset, Kentucky.
Yeah, so Coach Lucas has had a little talk with them. They sent them back on the field. Looks like they're has Kate Grundy back deep, but the rest of the 10 defensive players are up there close to the line of scrimmage, may be looking for a fake.
That's possible. They don't seem to be respecting it too much with no gunners out to the outside to try to make a play.
There's the snap. Zane Carter puts his foot to it, and Kate Grundy receives the punt at the 20-yard line. He comes up and he makes a couple of Indians miss and takes it all the way back up to the 29-yard line, where the Briar Jumpers will start with 5 minutes and 14 seconds to go in the first quarter with a 14-7 lead, 1st and 10.
Well, you can't win them all, right? So you'll take an 8-yard return. I think the Briar Jumper faithful on the other side of the field, I think they were looking for another return to the house. Can't get too greedy, but it sure is fun to watch.
Yes, it is. So it looks like Briar Jumpers are going to break the huddle with Kaya Sharon at quarterback and Alex Miller split to his right. Kay Grundy and Jaden Gilmore up to the left, and Brandon Jones at tight end on the right, or Cam Austin, I'm sorry. Kaya's barking out the signals. Checks the sideline, gets the snap, drops back to pass. He's looking for Grundy again, getting a little bit of pressure. He gets away from it, runs down the right side. He's got a little bit of room in front of him, and he's all the way down to the Montgomery County 44-yard line before he steps out of bounds, and that'll be a big gain for Kai Sharon on first down.
That's one thing you got to respect about the game of Kai Sharon. Not only can he beat you with his arm, but when you open up a lane and he has time to run, you got to look out for that play too.
Yeah, that is true. He had some time. He sat back in the pocket, he was looking to throw the ball down the field, Robert, and they had good coverage on his receivers, and he was able to just take it and get out of the pressure and pick up a big gain. So 1st and 10, Kai calls out the plays. Jace Bruner goes in motion. Kai hands the ball off to Alex Miller right up the middle. He gains about 4 yards, and while he's fighting for some more yards, the ball is stripped out, and he has fumbled the ball. And Montgomery County, that's number 98, Aiden Gilreath, recovers it, and Montgomery County is going to take over. 1st and 10 at their own 46-yard line.
I'm sure once young Mr. Miller gets over to the sideline, they're going to let him know. He's got a habit of taking, and can't think of a better term for this. It's almost like a chicken wing where he throws that arm out while he's running. Doesn't secure the ball very well. So while I applaud the effort for going for those extra yardage, he's got to secure the ball.
Yeah, so after a big play on 1st down, 2 big plays, they're going to try to hand the ball off to Alex, and he's going to fumble it. Montgomery County is going to take over with a little bit of momentum here. Hatton steps up under the center for the Indians and turns around and pitches it out to Nick Huff, and he takes it all the way to the sideline for a gain of about 9 yards. He's going to be short by about 1 yard. He's going to bring up 2nd and 1 for the Indians.
Somerset's going to have to spread out those outside linebackers and respect that pitch out to the far side. Not really a jet sweep per se, but if you're going to be able to contain to the outside, you're going to have to be able to control that speed and not let that be a factor all that long.
Yes, you're exactly right, Robert. And, they're so concerned about stopping the running game up the middle that they are leaving themselves susceptible to the outside. And this play, Hatton turns around, and he hands the ball off to his favorite ball carrier, Josh Wheaton, right up the middle. And the Briar Jumpers are ready for that. No gain's going to bring up 3rd and a short 1.
I hate to keep, sounding like a broken record and repeat myself over and over again, but it's going to be hard to run that ball up the middle. This brings up a Turner Realty Group 3rd down. Let's see what they've got in store for this play.
So 3rd and short. I'd say that we're probably going to see Mr. Wheaton again, but we'll see what happens. Hatton comes up to the line of scrimmage in a hurry. He's calling the signals. He turns around and hands the ball off to Mr. Wheaton, and he goes right up the middle and falls forward for about 3 yards, and will pick up the 1st down.
Yeah, went right off the right guard. Beautiful little run play. He'll take 3 yards because 3 yards gives you that 1st down.
So 1st and 10 here for the Indians at the 41-yard line. Time winding down in the 1st quarter at 4 minutes and 1 second, and the Briar Jumpers still have the lead 14-7, but the Indians are driving.
Yeah, making an honest game out of it. I can applaud this Montgomery County team for taking it right to that Somerset defense.
So the Indians, Hatton is over at the sideline getting the play call. He runs into the huddle. He's going to call the play in a hurry. They're going to come to the line of scrimmage. Hatton runs up, calls the play, takes the snap, pitches it out again to Nick Huff around the right side. And this time the Briar Jumpers are there to stop him. And Ricky Gilmore and Mikey Garland there to stop him for a short gain. Looks like maybe 2 or 3 away down the spot.
Yeah, as quick as they flew to the ball and as hard as they hit the young man, I think they're tired of getting run to the outside of that defense.
So that's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Indians, and they call the play, doing a little sub here. Nick Huff comes out, and Cameron Scruggs reports in for the Indians. 2nd and 7, maybe a little play action pass here. Robert try to get something down the field and get over top the Jumpers. Hatton comes up to the line of scrimmage. He calls the play. It's a straight drop back. He's looking for Austin Eichenberger, and again, Tate Madden is great coverage inside, and he's able to knock the ball down for incomplete pass.
Yeah, you'll take the incompletion. Looked like he had perfect position to make the interception, but, you can't win them all. You'll take that play every single time.
So it's going to, after the incompletion by Hatton, it's going to bring up 3rd and 7, which may force the Indians into another passing down right here. Briar Jumper defense has done a pretty good job other than a couple of plays that they've allowed them to get to the outside. They've not given the Indians much up the middle, and you talked about it a couple of times. And you're going to have a hard time running up the middle against the Briar Jumpers.
Yeah, all day long. Jace Bruner, I think he's just a man amongst boys out there sometimes when you look at that stature.
Haddon takes a snap. He counters back out and hands the ball off to Jaden Akers, and he tiptoes his way across the 35-yard line. It's going to be a little bit short of the first down. It's going to bring up 4th and about 2.
Yeah, 4th and 2. You got to tighten up the defense. Try to seal up that middle at the same play that they just ran, that little counter off the right guard. Gave him 3 yards last time. I wonder if they'll probably go back to that same well and try that play again.
Yeah, I'd say it's a little bit longer distance this time, so they may not be able to just turn it around and give it to Josh Wheaton. They may have to do some kind of counteraction again. But 4th, and they marked it back just a little bit to the 34-yard line. It's going to bring up 4th and a long 3. Haddon turns around. He fakes it up the middle, and he's got Jaden Akers wide open down the field, airs it out. But I'm telling you what, Ricky Gilmore closed back and made a phenomenal play to knock that ball away at the last second.
That was a good play. Looks like he had the ball, hit the turf. Looked like maybe the turf monsters actually kind of showed up to help us out tonight. I'll take it, but you can't complain about that extra, I guess, quote-unquote, 12th man.
That is true. So Briar Jumpers defense stands with 2 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the first quarter. They're going to take the ball over, leading 14-7. Will be 1st and 10 for the Briar Jumpers at the 34-yard line. Kai Sharon back in the shotgun. Alex Miller's to his right. He goes in motion, and Kai is just going to turn and swing it out to Alex out in the flat. And Alex is going to turn. He gets hit almost immediately, Robert, but turns around, spins off of him, the initial tackler, and gains about 3 or 4 more yards. It's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
Yeah, he got past the first defender. The second defender was right there on top of him, and it made a great stick for the tackle. 2nd down, still a manageable, a short 7, maybe a long 6.
So 2nd and 6 for the Briar Jumpers as Kai Sharon comes up to the line of scrimmage in the shotgun formation with Alex Miller again to his left. Kaya Rose to his left. He's looking for Cam Austin, who catches the ball and gets across the 46-yard line, going to get a first down, but there is a flag on the play.
Probably right in the spot of the line of scrimmage. Probably a holding call, getting ready to come back against Somerset.
I didn't see it, but I'd say you're exactly right. That's what they're over there talking about.
Alton Blakely Honda offers complimentary lifetime powertrain protection with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle we sell. Engine covered, transmission covered, drive axles covered for life. You're covered as long as you own it. And that's on every qualifying new and pre-owned car, truck, van, and SUV, even diesel trucks. Shop with complete confidence and peace of mind with Alton Blakely's complimentary lifetime powertrain protection program. Alton Blakely Honda, South Highway 27 Somerset, and abhonda.com.
Referees got together, and it's going to be an ineligible man downfield, Robert, on the Briar Jumpers. So somebody maybe got crossed up with a run pass, and that lineman was beyond 3 yards down the field, and they're going to come back, and it's going to be 2nd and 12 for the Briar Jumpers.
It was a good play by Cam Austin to get that first down. However, the unfortunate not turnover, but the unfortunate penalty does back him up. Still, 2nd and 11.
So the Briar Jumpers come to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 11. Kai Sharon is in the shotgun with Alex Miller to his right. He takes a snap, drops straight back, looking down the field, a little bit of pressure. He takes off, tucks it, and runs, lowers his head, and runs over Jaden Akers, who's able to make the tackle, but he's able to pick up about 8 on the play. Is going to make it a very manageable 3rd and 2.
Yeah, that'll bring up a 3rd down play. Again, you got to respect Kai Sharon, who can stand back in the pocket and make plays, but when you get that lane that opens up and you got to take it, beat them with their feet, it'll keep the defense a little more respectable, probably help them open up the passing game later.
So with 3rd and 3, Kai calls the signals. Cam Austin comes in motion. He hands off to Alex Miller, and he's breaking tackles down the left side and still running. He's going to take it all the way down to the Montgomery County 40-yard line, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Briar Jumpers.
Nice run by the young man. Made a couple of tacklers miss, get downfield, take a 20-yard gain every time.
Oh, It's 1st and 10 for the Briar Jumpers at the 40-yard line after a great run by Alex Miller right there. That he just kept running, was not going to be brought down, and he takes it all the way down for a first down for the Briar Jumpers. Kai Sharon back in the shotgun again with Alex to his right. 4 wide receivers, 2 to the right and 2 to the left. And Kaya rolls out to his right, and he throws a nice pass out here in the right flat, and that's going to be Carson Guthrie coming out of the slot position, and he's going to get just enough for the first down. The ball is going to be marked at the Indians' 27-yard line, for a first down. And that brings us to the end of the first quarter, where the Briar Jumpers lead the Montgomery County Indians 14-7.
At Widest Cabinets, they provide their customers with friendly service. They value your business, and it's their mission to provide reliable products and services. The courteous and professional team at Widest Cabinet Design Center can turn your vision into a reality. While the Widest Cabinet Design Center, visit the Widest Cabinet Design Center on the corner of South 27 and Slate Branch Road to learn more about what they can do for you. I think I need to take a minute to put my teeth back in. I keep getting fumbled up on the read.
It is sometimes tough.
I'm going to blame it on the fact that the sun's gone down and there's no light in here, but I'm not going to tell too many people because it's starting to feel pretty nice in here now.
It really does. It's been warm today. Sun's been out. I said earlier that it's going to be clear, and there's a couple of clouds in the sky, a little cotton candy pink and blue across the field from us here. It's a beautiful night, but it has started to cool down a little bit, and I'm thankful for that.
Me too, and I bet the players are just as equally as thankful wearing all that gear.
So as we begin to the second quarter of play, the Briar Jumpers are going to have 1st and 10 from the Montgomery County 23-yard line. Kai Sharon takes the snap. He pitches it out to Alex Miller, and he is hit immediately in the backfield by Ben Payne coming off the right side, and going to drop Alex for about a 3-yard loss.
It was a great read by the young man. Probably got a little tied up, maybe some miscommunication on the line, but nevertheless, you got to give the young man some credit for making that play.
So 2nd and 13 yards now. Kai Sharon is in the shotgun. Alex to his left. He motions him over to the right. 3 receivers to the left. Jaden Gilmore alone to his right. Kaya drops back. He throws it up. And it is Brandon Jones from the tight end spot right up the middle, and it is a touchdown over the top for the Briar Jumpers, and now they lead 20-7.
That was an absolutely beautiful pass from Kai Sharon, just well enough to get into the hands of the receivers to make the play for a long touchdown pass. That's another Citizens National Bank touchdown.
Yeah, Kaya was able to sit back there in the pocket. He saw Brandon coming from his slot position, right up the middle, and again, I think Montgomery County is looking for Jaden Gilmore, looking for Kay Grundy, and Brandon goes right up the seam, and Kai lays it out there for him. He runs under it and catches it for the touchdown. Daniel Richardson is on to kick the PAT, and it's up. It's a line drive kick, but it is through, and with 11 minutes and 17 seconds to go in the second quarter, it is Somerset 21, Montgomery County 7.
The University Center of Southern Kentucky is a multi-university of 4 public universities, including EKU, Moorhead, WKU, and UK. The colleges are bringing bachelor degrees and educational opportunities close to home in Southern Kentucky. The University Center of Southern Kentucky will provide several pathways for students to earn 4-year degrees from partnering universities in Kentucky on the campus of Somerset Community College. After completing a 2-year degree at SCC, students will be able to choose from the partnering university of their choice and have access to student support services to complete a 4-year bachelor degree at the Somerset Community College campus.
Well, Robert, so I'm struggling a little bit here trying to keep the stats tonight. That's why you hear a little bit of break in the action. I apologize for that, the listening. But I think that I'm finally getting things under control, so we'll see how the rest of the game goes here.
When you called and said that you wanted to do the stats and do play-by-play, I wanted to pat you on the back. I saw you use that contraption last week to try to keep stats. You did a great job, but I don't know how you can multitask and do both.
Well, Daniel Richardson tees it up here, and he kicks it off. And that's going to be Nick Huff who's going to receive the kickoff at about the 10-yard line for the Indians. And he's going to weave around through the defender, the Briar Jumpers defense, where he's going to be finally dropped down by Chaz Gilmore, and the Indians are going to take over 1st and 10 from their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, he got held up about the 28-yard line with a bunch of other defenders right on him, but Gilmore came in and gave him a good stick and finished that play. Get him set up for 1st and 10 on what? It is the 28-yard line.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for Montgomery County Indians at the 28, and Hatton is going to take the play, go into the huddle, call the huddle, come out, break the huddle quick. Hatton's going to turn around. He's going to fake it to Wheaton and going to turn around and give it to the second man through. It's Nick Huff around the right side, before he's wrapped up there by Jace Bruner and 3 or 4 more Briar jumpers. But it's going to be a gain of about 5 yards, Robert.
Yeah, the offensive tackles on this Montgomery County squad are earning their paycheck today, I guess you could say. They are making some great blocks on the outside, freeing up some lanes for the running backs to run. It's about the only real positive running play that they're able to run with.
Yeah, they've not had a whole lot of success up the middle, but they have been able to run around the edges a little bit. So it's going to bring up 2nd and 5 from the 33-yard line. And Hatton calls the play quick, lines up, hands it off, or another fake to Wheaton, and then turns around and gives it to Cameron Scruggs on a little counter play around the left side. And you have Jace Bruner and Chaz Gilmore and Dylan Keith over there stringing him out. He's going to gain about 2 yards on the play before they finally run him out of bounds, which is going to bring up 3rd and a long 2 for the Indians.
That was a long run for 2 yards, and I'll be honest, I bit on the fake. I was still looking for the play to be blown dead, but it looked up and they were running to the outside. Jace Bruner to be able to chase that to the outside and make the play. It was a beautiful defensive play.
Yes, sir. So 3rd and 2 from their own 36-yard line, and Hatton calls the play. They turn around. They don't seem to be as quick to the line of scrimmage as the quarterback is, but he's going to turn around and hand it off to Wheaton. He's hit immediately by Kel Todd in the backfield, but he slides off of him and falls to the left side. It looks like he's going to have enough for the 1st down, Robert.
Yeah, Kel Todd made a great read on that defensive play. Came through the line untouched. Hit the defender. Got to wrap up, but that's okay. It was a short game. Some of these 1st downs are just going to happen tonight.
So, with 9 minutes and 35 seconds to go in the 2nd quarter, Briar Jumpers lead 21-7. The Indians are going to have 1st and 10 from their own 39-yard line. Hatton breaks the huddle, has 3 backs in the backfield, 1 receiver left. He turns around, he fakes it to Wheaton. He's looking for his tight end right up the middle, and that's number 37, Devin Johnson, and he is able to haul it in over the coverage there by Gilmore and take it all the way down to the Briar Jumper 29-yard line.
Yeah, young Gilmore, well, I say young. Mr. Gilmore's out there having a pretty tough night on the defensive side of the ball. Looks like the offensive players were able to just, make some separation, get around him. You can tell he's a little frustrated after that play. He was holding both sides of his helmet, going off the field. Recollect, young man, and get out there and make another play.
So after the big gain all the way down to the 29-yard line, it's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Indians. Hatton breaks the huddle. He comes to the line of scrimmage with 2 men in the backfield. He turns around and gives it to Wheaton right up the middle again, and there's just not a whole lot of room, but he's going to fall forward for about 2 yards.
Yeah, that was a great little run play. Stuffed at the line of, almost at the line of scrimmage. Looks like they might spot it for 3 whole yards. I think at this point, with as long as that 1st quarter was, they may be just trying to milk some clock at this point.
So it takes it down to the 27-yard line of the Briar Jumpers, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 with the ball on the 27 with 8 minutes to go, with the Briar Jumpers still leading 21-7. We have an official's timeout on the field.
Got somebody with maybe an equipment problem?
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure, but he winds the clock and we're ready to go again. So 2nd and 8, Hatton steps under center. He turns around. Is going to fake it to Wheaton, it looked like, but we have a flag on the play. He's going to blow it dead. We have a false start on the Indians, going to back them up 5 yards. False start, and it's going to be 2nd and 13.
Yeah, they had 2 men in the backfield. Both of them went in motion at the same time. Usually a penalty every time.
So ball is now going to be placed at the 32-yard line. It's going to be 3rd and 13 yards for the Indians, or 2nd and 13 for the Indians. Hatton takes the snap. He fakes the handoff and turns around, and there is 3 jumpers in the way. That's Mikey Garland coming in to hit him, and somebody came off the end up there, Robert, off the right tackle, number 28, looks like, for the Briar Jumpers.
Right.
Dylan Keith come in and laid a lick on Hatton, and it's going to be a big loss all the way back to their own, or to the Briar Jumpers' 37, 38-yard line.
Especially excellent defensive stand by the young man to make the first initial stop, and Mikey Johnson to come in there and finish off the play.
So after the big sack by the Briar Jumpers here, it's 3rd and about 17, and Hatton's going to take under center. He's going to drop straight back, and he's going to just throw it up for Austin Eichenberger, and that ball, the closest player to that was a Briar Jumper player, Tate Madden.
Yeah, look out here at the quarterback. He's signaling out at his receiver. I think there was just some miscommunication on that play.
So good stand by the Briar Jumpers after that big pass play by the Indians that took the ball all the way down to their 29-yard line. 3 consecutive plays going backwards, and now it's going to bring up 4th and about 16, and the Indians are forced to punt. And Zane Carter is back deep to punt, and Kay Grundy is standing on his goal line, or close to the goal line. There's a red line going across there. I thought it was. He's actually about on the 4. The snap is good. The boot is up, and he's just going to drive it in the end zone. He's not going to give Kay Grundy an opportunity to bring it back.
Looking at the Randall D. Turpin CPA scoreboard with 6:57 left to go in the second quarter. Briar Jumpers on top 21-7. Ford Brothers Auctioneers, a proud sponsor of local high school sports. Whether you are selling a family estate, private or commercial real estate, equipment, or personal property, they've got you covered. Ford Brothers Auctioneers is recognized statewide and nationally as one of the leaders in the auction industry. Whether it's live on site, online, or a combination of both, you can count on Ford Brothers Auctioneers to deliver top-quality organization advice and results for you. Visit them online at FordBrothersInc.com. Ford Brothers Auctioneers, selling the country since 1965.
So Briar Jumpers come out 1st and 10, and Kai Sharon's back in the shotgun. And he turns around and hands it up to Alex Miller, who's met at the line of scrimmage, but breaks free, and he is all the way across the 50-yard line and brought down at the Montgomery County 39. So a great run by Alex Miller right there off the bat.
Another hard run by the young man after that turnover a couple plays ago for him. You like to see the young man regain that confidence, get out there and run hard, and make the long play for the first down.
Yes, sir. So after the big gain, it's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Jumpers at the Montgomery County 40-yard line. And Kyrie Sharon's little pistol formation with Jace Bruner off to his right. And he's going to turn around and hand it off to Jace. And Jace is going to just bounce off tacklers and just keeps going. He's hit it to 30. Oh, my goodness gracious. He's knocked off another one, and he's all the way down to the 5-yard line. That's a great run by Jace Bruner, breaking tackles as he goes.
Yeah, the young man runs so well and strong behind those pads. What was it? That was 4 tackles that were dead on that he was able to bust right through and make that play. Gorgeous play.
Yes, Jace Bruner, he was hit, like you said, 4 or 5 times. I thought he was going to go down. He just kept going, kept his legs churning, got to the sideline, and was able to take it all the way down to the 5-yard line. So Briar Jumpers are going to have it 1st and goal with 6:07 to go in the second quarter, already leading 21-7.
Right there in that Rick Barker red zone, ready to make another play. Let's see if we can get some more points on the board.
Yes, sir. So we are in the red zone for the first time tonight, and the Briar Jumpers have it 1st and goal, and they're going to come out in a power formation here with a little power eye. Cale Todd, Alex Miller, and it turns around and hands off to Alex Miller, and he goes right up the middle, right behind those 2 big lead blockers, and he's going to take it all the way down to the 1-yard line, where it's going to be 2nd and goal from the 1.
An impressive run by the young man to follow his lead blockers, get through the hole, almost 6 more points. But we got 2nd down and 1 yard to go.
2nd goal from the 1. Kay Grundy's going to split out left, but they're going to line up in the power formation again with the power eye left. Kai's going to take the snap. He's going to turn around and give it to Alex, and Alex is going to walk into the end zone for a touchdown. Briar Jumpers. And they are making this look a little bit easier than I expected, Robert, up here against these Indians. And they're going to take a 27-7 lead with 5 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the second quarter.
Well, you can look out on the field and you can look at the Montgomery County team, and you can tell that their body language is starting to wilt just a little bit. When you're up on them 20 points, relatively early in the game, it has a tendency to do that to the young men. See if they got any fight left in them after this next drive.
Yeah, I tell you, we talked to Coach Lucas before the game, and Montgomery County, big 5A school. You look over here on the sidelines, and they almost double what we have standing on our sidelines, but that doesn't measure the heart of the man. And the Briar Jumpers have come out and have taken right to the Indians right off the bat. The extra point is attempted by Daniel Richardson, and it is up and good. And with 5 minutes and 12 seconds to go in the second quarter, the Briar Jumpers lead 28-7.
A big thank you to Don Franklin Somerset Family of Dealerships for presenting tonight's coverage of high school football. Be sure to take advantage of the end of summer savings at any of their Somerset locations. Visit them at Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset Family of Dealerships, where they treat you like family.
Well, Robert, after a first quarter, while I really struggled with these stats, I think that I may have it under control for the time being. I'm not going to say the Montgomery County Indians Sugar Huddle offense quick set has given me more trouble than it has given the Briar Jumpers defense tonight.
Right. Well, I kind of wondered if that wouldn't be part of the problem. That quick huddle doesn't give you much time to get in there and put in new stats for the play that was right before that. So congratulations being able to keep up with that. I just don't know how you do it. I really don't.
We may take a look at this at halftime.
Well,
reevaluate.
We'll see how close we get.
Yeah. So anyway, we're here to kick off after the touchdown. Daniel Richardson puts the ball on the tee. The referees are getting lined up. Back deep for the Indians are, again, Austin Eichenberger and Nick Huff. Richardson puts his foot to it. It's a short kick. It's going to be fielded at about the 23-yard line by Jaden Akers, and he's going to weave around and take it up across the 30 before he finally gets hit and brought down. That's Cam Austin, and looks like number 35, Guy Bailey, in there on the tackle for the Briar Jumpers. And the Indians are going to start 1st and 10 from their 32-yard line.
Guy Bailey, another name that the Somerset faithful should get to know. He's a freshman. These freshmen getting out here and making some plays on special teams leads into more playing time on defense and such throughout the season.
Yes, when you can get some of these freshmen and sophomores some playing time on special teams where they usually get most of their playing time, it is really good for them when they need it later on in the season out on the field. So it's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 32-yard line. They're having a little bit of trouble getting the play call, and they're going to call their third time out of the half, Robert. So with 5 minutes and 3 seconds to go in the second quarter, the first half of play, the Briar Jumpers lead Montgomery County 28-7.
Since 1979, Modern Systems has been defending communities all across Kentucky, and they are proud to be a part of the communities they serve, committing time and sponsorships to numerous charities like Project 5810, Relay for Life, March of Dimes, Heart Walk, and local school programs, and many, many more. Modern Systems, your neighbor and your friends, they work 24/7 to protect the things that matter most to you, from homes to businesses to schools and churches. Let Modern Systems be your trusted name in home security.
Again, I'd like to take a moment to shout out to Jaywalk Productions 2019 SHS Football Facebook group. They will be filming the entire season within the group with highlight reels, player interviews, season updates, and more. Don't miss out. Head on over to the Jaywalk Productions on Facebook and join now. So Hatton finally gets to play from scrimmage. He runs up. We're waiting for the referees to blow the ball live, though. Hatton was ready to go. The referees weren't. So he steps under center. He has Wheaton in the backfield. He fakes it to him, gives it to Nick Huff around the right side again, Robert, and there's that same play that's been giving the jumper some fits, and he's going to take the ball all the way across the 45-yard line to about the 47, where it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Indians.
It's a great play call. The Montgomery County coaches keep coming back to the well on that one. They don't do it very often to set up that play for an eventual another run, but it's a beautiful outside run play, running it with a lot of success.
You know, like Coach Lucas talked about in the pregame show, they don't use a whole lot of motion to get you going different directions, but they do use a lot of fakes and counters and bringing traps and linemen back across the line of scrimmage. Hatton, there should be some motion right there, and there's the flag. Yeah, the Indians weren't real sure about the setup, and we're going to have a procedure call against the Indians. It's going to back them up again.
Yeah, it's a shame it's a dead ball foul, because you probably, with a loss of yardage, take the down over the yardage. But That's okay. That's a dead ball foul. They can move it back a few yards and replay that down.
So after the motion penalty on the – I'm sorry, they're going to take the play.
I thought it was a dead ball foul. It's okay. Maybe
I did too. So 1st and 10, and when he moves like that, should that not blow the play dead, Robert?
That's what I thought, but it's okay.
So anyway, it's a break for the Briar Jumpers. They're now 2nd and 13, and again, Hatton is going to turn around, make a couple of fakes in the backfield, and he's going to hand the ball off to about the 3rd running back going around the left side. That is Jaden Akers, and he's going to be swallowed up again for no gain.
Yeah, it was a beautiful play to stretch that play to the outside. I thought there might be a gain on that one. No gain, or very minimal at that. You'll take it, set you up for another 3rd down play.
So 3rd and 12 for the Indians here. They've just not been able to get the running game going. So they're going to probably be forced to pass the ball right here, and Hatton comes under center. He takes the snap, he turns around, and after I say that, he turns around and hands it off to Wheaton, who goes right up the middle, gets back to the initial line of scrimmage.
Looks like I see a flag on the far side of the field. I don't know if that one was dropped or through. I couldn't tell.
It wasn't thrown very far, but you're right. There's a penalty on the play, so let's wait and let's get this sorted out here as the referees are talking about it, and we'll see what happens.
I'm not even sure that the Y-head knows 100% on what that flag was for.
I'm not sure either. They are really having a long discussion here, Robert, and want to see what.
Not looking really to either sideline to get some kind of. Okay, so now we got a signal from the far sideline on the Somerset side that they don't want the penalty. They'll just take the down.
So, again, we had some kind of false start, which that would be a dead ball. So there's got to be some kind of motion, illegal alignment or something going on that allows the play to go. And they're going to take the result of the play, which was a gain of about 5. It's going to bring up 4th and 8 for the Indians. And it looks like they're going to go for it, Robert, down trailing 28-7 with 3:36 to go in the first half.
I guess you got to at this point. Just try to get some kind of momentum going into halftime.
And Hatton turns around. He fakes it again, and it looks like it's number 18. Oh, it's going to be close. He is brought down right at the marker. The official on the near side is coming in. Looks like he is going to mark it just a bit short. So it looks like the Briar Jumpers are going to hold, and they are. They're going to take turnover on downs. It was very close, but they were able to stop him just short.
You've heard me say this over and over and over again tonight, and I'm sorry that I keep saying this over and over and over, but that same play to the outside, they keep running that. They keep going to the well, and it gets positive yardage. I wonder what the offensive play caller from Montgomery County is seeing on this Somerset defense.
I'm not sure what it is, but I mean, he's having some success around the outside. But he just was not able to get the first down right there, and it's a turnover on downs, and the Briar Jumpers are going to start 1st and 10 from their own 44-yard line as the Indians run a player on late. Kai Sharon takes the snap. He looks up top. He's got Cade Grundy deep again, and Cade is able to bring it in at about the 16-yard line, and Kai Sharon just threw it up, single coverage over there, and let Cade go get it again.
Yeah, that's about a 40-yard pass play, a big bomb from the young man. It's amazing to me to see how easy he makes that throw look.
He really does. He stepped back there. He has time. The offensive line again tonight, Robert, is doing a great job of giving Kaya time to sit back here in the pocket and just pick this defense apart.
Yeah, that puts him back in the red zone. That, you haven't had to call it too many times tonight, but that is the Rick Barker red zone. In it for the second time tonight, with just 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to go in this half.
1st and 10 play, Kai Sharon turns around. He hands the ball off to Alex Miller, and Alex takes it off the left side and is only able to gain about 1 yard. But you're right, here they are again. They're 2nd down and 9 from about the 16-yard line. Kai is in the huddle or in the shotgun formation. He's got 2 to his backs in the backfield with him. He turns around and he hands it off to Alex Miller, and Alex is going to take it off the left side. behind a great block over there by Carson Guthrie, and he's going to take it into the end zone again for another Briar Jumpers touchdown, and they take the lead with 2 minutes and 16 seconds to go in the first half, up 34-7.
Yeah, it was another Citizens Bank touchdown. It was a beautiful run on the outside from the young man. Got a great block, able to read the hole very well, went straight into the end zone, almost untouched for 6 more points.
So the Briar Jumpers are having a whole lot of success here tonight, Robert, throwing the ball down the field, big plays, chunk plays, and running the ball as well. The running backs just do not want to go down. And Daniel Richardson is going to try the extra point here, and it's going to line drive, and it's just a little bit wide to the left with no good. So with 2 minutes and 16 seconds again to go, the Briar Jumper lead is going to stand at 34-7.
No appointment is necessary at Quick Care Walk-In Clinic. They're right behind the hospital just off Bogle Street in Med Park West, right where they've been for over a decade. Quick Care has lab and x-ray equipment right there in the clinic, and they're open late. So if you've had an accident, if you aren't feeling well, or just want to walk in and see their highly qualified medical professionals and let them take care of you, go to Quick Care Walk-In Clinic at Med Park West.
So, Robert, after almost 6 quarters of play this year, the Briar Jumpers offense, somebody somewhere, and I hate that it's happened here against Rockcastle County and against Montgomery County, but they're going to put some film together and they're going to take a look at it. I think they're going to decide that you cannot cover Kay Grundy one-on-one.
No, that's going to be a tall task for anybody. I'm sure Beechwood's probably got some speed guys that can help cover that young man, but even they might have a big, tall task in front of them just to be able to cover him coming into town next week.
Daniel Richardson ready to kick it off. He puts his foot to it, and again it's going to be a little bit shorter kick, but the Indians receiver, number 2, Austin Eichenberger, is going to come up and field this one on the run, and is going to take it all the way up across the 25 to the 32-yard line, where he's finally brought down there by about 3 Briar Jumpers, and it's going to bring up 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 32.
You know, the young man got wide-eyed when he saw that play. He had a huge hole right in front of him that opened up in midfield, and somebody was able to make that shoestring tackle to save 6 points.
Just trip him up, and you're exactly right. If they don't make that tackle, that young man has got some speed. He may have taken that all the way down to the end zone. So as it stands, the Indians are going to come out from off the sideline huddle again, and they'll go into a little muddle huddle right there about 1.5 yards off the line of scrimmage. It's going to be 1st and 10 from their own 32-yard line, where the Briar Jumpers defense looking to stop a big play from happening here with 2 minutes to go in the half.
I want to see what kind of plays they come out and run this half. If they still continue to go out to that outside sweep, where they've been able to gather the big chunks of yards. Exactly that play, but
Yep.
They fumbled it, cost them some yardage, cost them some down, but man, he's still staying on his feet.
Hatton does. He fakes the ball to Wheaton there, and he ends up giving the ball to the second man through around the outside, Nick Huff. But as he stuck it in his belly there, the ball came out, and he decided he was going to try to run back across the field, and that was a mistake because sitting there waiting for him was Cam Austin. He laid a lick on him at the 26-yard line, and it's going to be a loss of about 6 yards, and it's going to bring up 2nd and 16 for the Indians.
I'm sorry. Those hits are the hardest to take. When you're going one direction, you decided to go and cut it back the other direction. You turn around, you got a defender ready to light you up, and that's exactly what happened on that play.
Yes, sir. So here we are, 2nd and 16 again. Long yardage. That's not Montgomery County's strength. You know, they don't want to be going backwards. And Hatton's going to turn around. He's going to take the snap, turn around and give an inside trap to Nick Huff again. He's going to be stopped at the line of scrimmage, maybe loss of a yard for no gain.
Yeah, Jace Bruner was right there in on that play, sniffed that one out. They were going to try to string that out to the far side of the field from where we're sitting, but Jace Bruner was in there to make a play.
So after 2 consecutive runs by the Indians, then they've done nothing but lose yardage. It's going to bring up 3rd and 17 with 1:05 to go in the first half, up 34-7. Coach Lucas is going to call a timeout and going to try to get the ball back again, Robert, and see if they can't score one more time.
Rick Barker and Godby Realty and Auction. Names you know, names you trust. Real estate and auction services for farm, commercial, residential, and personal. Godby Realty and Auction has 49 years of experience in the real estate and auction business, and we are ready to put that to work for you. Go visit us online at godbyrealty.com for more information.
So 3rd and 17 for the Indians. Briar Jumpers coming out looking to get another stop here and get the ball back and see if they can't put some more points up on the board in the first half. Coach Lucas used I believe it was his first timeout of the first half. He still has 2 more left. So opportunity for the Briar Jumpers if they can get a stop right here to get the ball back. Indians break the huddle on the sideline, go back out to the middle of the field from the 25-yard line. Hatton calls the play, rushes to the line of scrimmage, takes the snap, turns around and fakes it to Wheaton, fakes it, and then passes it out here to the right flat, and he was hit in the backfield by Kel. No, I'm sorry, that's not Kel Todd. That is Mikey Garland.
Yeah, Jace Brenner had one more step on that play. He was close to sniffing that one out and catching the interception, and there was nothing but daylight in front of him.
Yeah, his arm got hit as soon as he let go of it. It kind of floated out here in the flat, and you're right, Robert. Just another step, and I believe that Jace would be able to pick that off and taking that at the house for a big score. But as it is, it goes down as an incomplete pass, and it brings up 4th and 17, and Zane Carter is back deep to punt, and Kay Grundy is back to receive. He puts the foot to it. It's almost blocked, and it comes off the side of his foot. Did you get a piece of it?
I think so. I can't tell. The kick came out. The roll on the ball was a little irregular, so I think he might have actually touched that one. Cam
Austin was the man that was bringing the pressure for the jumpers off the left side, and if it wasn't touched, it was a bad punt. If he did get it off just a fingertip here, but what it's going to do is it's going to place the ball at the Montgomery County 35-yard line. That was about a 7-yard punt.
7-yard punts. That's another gift, and we'll take it.
That's never a good thing if you're the kicking team there. But as it is, so the Briar Jumpers come out 5 wide, 1st and 10. Kai Sharon drops back. He's got time, a little bit of pressure, still looking downfield, starts to tuck and run. But then he's able to break contain, take it all the way down across the 20-yard line. He stumbles down to about the 12. So after a big gain on the play, Kai Sharon has got the Briar Jumper set up in the red zone once again.
Yeah, that's another Rick Barker red zone play. Kai Sharon, again, beating you with his feet, trying to put a few more points before the end of this half. Looks like he's going to take the snap and spike the ball to stop the clock, give a little bit of time to regroup, call another play.
So he spikes the ball like you said. They're going to take a look at it and see if they can't get something here with 32 seconds to go in the first half, up 34-7.
Almost like last week, I wonder if they're trying to just, kind of rack up the points, put the running clock on, try to get out of here, take the W, and go home.
Yeah, so 2nd and 10 from the 11-yard line. Kai Sharon lines up in the shotgun formation with Alex Miller off to his right. He throws it down to number 30. That's Carson Guthrie. A little bit behind him, but it falls incomplete. It's going to bring up 3rd and 10 for the Briar Jumpers at the 12-yard line.
Young man run a great out pattern, was right there on the 5-yard line. If he was able to catch that and turn, he might have been able to put that one in for 6 more points.
So brings up 3rd and 10 for the Briar Jumpers, 3rd and 10, just right outside the 10-yard line from the 12. Kai Sharon's in the shotgun formation with Alex Miller to his left, Kay Grundy and Jaden Gilmore to the left, 2 wide receivers to the top. Kaya takes the snap. He rolls left. He throws it to Kay Grundy, who takes it down to about the 1-yard line where he rolls out of bounds, and it's going to be 1st and goal from the 1 with 22 seconds to go.
They'll give a little bit of stoppage on the clock. I don't think he got out of bounds. That'll at least give him time to reset the chains, get another play in before half.
So, again, Kaya just rolls formation to the left and throws it to Cade. With the clock running, Kai Sharon steps in, takes the handoff, hands it off to Alex Miller, and Alex Miller is in for a Briar Jumper touchdown. And the Briar Jumpers now lead 40-7 with 9 seconds to go in the first half.
That's probably the exact same play I would have run for the young man. Give the workhorse the ball, get him in there, give him 6 more points, tack on a few more, keep that momentum driving into the halftime.
On the play, there's a Montgomery County player down in the end zone. I don't know if he got rolled up on what happened here, but we have timeout on the field to tend to the injured player.
In real estate, working with the right people matters. Barry Turner, broker and co-owner at Turner Realty Groups, knows the ropes. Over the years, Turner Realty Group has developed excellent relationships with their clients. See for yourself on Zillow profile with more reviews than anyone else in Lake Cumberland region. Turner Realty Group is just off Highway 27 between lights 21 and 22. Call 679-SOLD or go online at shopsomersethomes.com.
So while we were away there for just a second, the Montgomery County player was able to get to his feet and walk off the field under his own power. But with 9.3 seconds to go in the first half, the Briar Jumpers did exactly what they needed to do. They stopped Montgomery County, got the ball back, and took it down for another score, and they lead 40-7. Daniel Richardson is lining up for the PAT. Waiting on the ball to get snapped in. We're ready to go. Here's a snap. It's a good hold. It's a good kick. It's up and right down the middle. And with 9 seconds to go in the first half, the Briar Jumpers lead 41-7.
Henderson Chiropractic is committed to relieving your pain using the true principles of chiropractic care. Their careful, helpful team strives for excellence through extraordinary service and patient education. Dr. Henderson provides chiropractic care for injuries that occur during sports, auto accidents, work-related activities, and just everyday wear and tear. The experience you need for the results you want, that is Henderson Chiropractic.
Robert, this is not what I was expecting.
This is not what I was expecting either. That first quarter, I feel like took, 3 or 4 years off of my life, and this second quarter has kind of flown right by.
It really has. And the Briar Jumpers offense and defense, both sides of the ball right now, other than like you've talked about numerous times, Montgomery County is having a little bit of success running a little counter around the side, but they go back and try to run the ball up the middle, but they continue to shoot themselves in the foot with big penalties, sacks, negative yardage plays, and putting them in position to have to throw the ball, and they just don't do a very good job of that. And Somerset is taking advantage.
I know this probably doesn't make a whole lot of sense to anybody hearing it but me. And I got that problem a lot. But when I look down and I see, as many kids as Montgomery County dresses, this should be a pretty good opportunity to give these kids some varsity experience, get them ready to play throughout the rest of the season. Should be able to afford the Somerset sidelines the same exact thing.
Yes, it is. And Richardson tees the ball up, and he kicks a low line drive that is fielded by Jaden Akers at about the 15-yard line, and he takes it right up the middle, right up the gut to about the 32, where he's brought down with 4.9 seconds to go in the first half. Montgomery County is going to come out 1st and 10 from their own 32. And I don't know about you, but I believe that I would just take a knee here and take it to the half, and let's see if we can't get something else going.
Exactly the same thing that I was getting ready to say. You take the knee, you go into the half, you regroup, you rally your troops together. The energy on the sidelines a little down, the body language is a little down, but you can still got a chance. You go out there and regroup and get these kids rallied. Go out here and put on a show for this crowd the second half.
That's not the case. Hatton comes under center, and he turns around, and he hands the ball off to Josh Wheaton again, who runs right up the middle. He goes nowhere, and so much like the first half, the Briar Jumpers ended on a strong note right here, and they're going to take a 41-7 lead into the halftime. And, Robert, as you look down here on the field, Montgomery County is not leaving. They're going to have a little powwow right here, and coach is not even going to let them go to the locker room. He's going to send them all the way down to the far end zone, and I believe they're going to have a come-to-Jesus meeting.
Yeah, I'd say so. No offense to anybody that's listening on the Montgomery County side, so I mean no disrespect. It's one of the times that you get a Somerset team that's, for lack of a better term, special. They come out here, they've got the talent, and they've probably got enough talent that can carry them to a really good run at a state championship. Not saying they'll win it, but when you get a team that's that special, you come out here, you play a team like Montgomery County, you hang 41 points on them in the first half. It's really, it's not maybe unexpected, but, this is the price that you kind of sometimes end up paying whenever you play a really good football team.
Yes, you're exactly right. And I do want to correct myself here. I thought the coach was sending them down to the end zone, and they were going to have a little powwow, but that is actually how they go off the field and go to their locker room. So they're headed to the locker room right now. The Briar Jumpers have made their way to the locker room, and here we are at half, and the Briar Jumpers lead 41-7.
Since 1920, Citizens National Bank has been located on Fountain Square in downtown Somerset, and this has been their home for nearly 100 years. Lots of their customers live and work here. Over half of the Citizens Bank team, 72 employees to be exact, work downtown. And now, more than ever, Citizens National Bank is excited to be part of the downtown community. They love downtown Somerset and are here to stay. Citizens National Bank, moving forward, moving together, member FDIC.
So, Robert, I know that you've been asking a little bit if you had any luck being able to, well, by the time I say that, looks like across town here, well, not across town, but just down the road from us, the Pulaski Maroons are playing Madison Southern at the half. Madison Southern is leading 21-7. And
I think that one might be the Southwestern score, 21-7 Mad South at the half.
You're exactly right. I apologize. So we have Madison Southern taking on Southwestern, and Madison Southern leads 21-7 at the half. And PC, who traveled down to Wayne County tonight, taking on the Cardinals of Wayne County, and they lead Wayne County 15-14 at the half.
Going to Wayne County is no easy task to withhold, and that's a good Wayne County squad, young Wayne County squad, but still very good, very good.
I'd like to take a moment to shout out to Jaywalk Productions 2019 SHS Football Facebook group. They will be filming the entire season within the group with highlight reels, player interviews, season updates, and more. Don't miss out. Head on over to Jaywalk Productions on Facebook and join now.
All right, Chris, while you tally up some totals for the half, I'll do some business over here. L&N Federal Credit Union, in business since 1954. I want you to know that you can join L&N if you live, work, worship, attend school, or belong to any legal entity in Pulaski County. L&N offers everything necessary for your personal or business finances. Over 85,000 members have taken advantage of flexible mortgage and consumer loans. Free online mobile banking, free checking, business accounts, and more. Equal housing lender and NCUA insurer. Lake Cumberland Sports would like to thank Toyota Somerset for being a sponsor. Toyota Somerset has been a proud member of this community since 1988, and they are proud to sponsor local high school sports. Toyota Somerset is a multiple winner of the Toyota President's Award as well as Dealer Rater Award. Whether you are looking for one of their 18 different new vehicle models, a certified pre-owned vehicle, or a top-quality used vehicle, Toyota Somerset will help you own a vehicle for less. They accept every credit application, and their lending sources have millions of dollars to lend. They are located at Stoplight 23 or online at toyotaofsomerset.com, and they are open until the last customer is served. That's Toyota Somerset, where they are all about you.
So, Robert, as we take a look at the first half stats here while the Montgomery County band is out on the field doing a great job, you're going to hear some numbers that, kind of surprising from a team that's trailing 41-7. But we knew that Montgomery County was going to come in and try to run the ball, and they've tried to do that. Somerset defense has not allowed them to do that. For Montgomery County on the night, they have able to pick up 5 first downs. They've rushed the ball 28 times for 88 yards. They've only been able to complete 1 of 7 passes for 32 yards. That was a big pass play down the middle to their tight end. They have 1 touchdown on the night. They've had 2 penalties for 9 yards. I think I've missed 1 or 2 of those at the point. But right now, they have a total of 120 yards of offense on the night. And this Briar Jumper defense is doing a great job of keeping them in check.
Yeah, that rushing number was a little bit higher than I expected, but they've gone to that outside well so many times, been able to make some positive plays on it. You figure how many yards they could have had if it weren't for the negative rushing plays on top of that.
The individual stats for Montgomery County in the first half, Nick Huff, the quarterback, has run the ball 10 times not the quarterback. Nick Huff is the running back. Nick Huff has rushed the ball 10 times for 58 yards, and he has the lone touchdown for the Indians tonight. Josh Wheaton coming into the game was their big running back who Coach Lucas talked about. They were going to turn and hand the ball off to him numerous times. They've handed it off to him 11 times, but right up the middle, and the Briar Jumper defense has been stout, only allowed him 23 yards on the night. Cameron Scruggs has had 3 rushes for the Indians for 9 yards, while Connor Fraley has had 2 carries for 3 yards. Alex Eisen has carried the ball 1 time for 1 yard, and Alex Hatton has carried the ball 1 time for a negative 6 yards. Receiving for the Indians, like I said, they have only been able to complete 1 pass, and that was down the middle to their big tight end, Devin Johnson, and he's had 1 catch for 32 yards.
pretty good. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
I was going to say it was pretty good ball distribution for a team that's scored 7 points on the night. That's actually something that you can build on. That's a good thing.
For the Briar Jumpers in the first half, you're going to see some more explosive numbers. They've had 12 first downs on the night. They've rushed the ball 12 times for 173 yards. Kaya Sharon has completed 5 of 7 passes for 120 yards for a total of 293 yards of offense for the Briar Jumpers on the night. Individual stats for Somerset. They are led in rushing by Alex Miller, who has rushed the ball 8 times for 94 yards. He has 3 touchdowns. He did have 1 fumble there early on, but after that time, I think you said he got a little upset with himself, and that young man has run hard the rest of the game. Jace Bruner had a big run. He's only carried the ball 1 time tonight, but it was for 35 yards, took it all the way down to the inside the 5-yard line and set up another score for Alex. Kai Sharon has tucked the ball down and rushed it 2 times for 28 yards, and the receiving for the Briar Jumpers tonight. Kay Grundy leads the receiving corps with 3 receptions for 94 yards, and Brandon Jones has 1 reception for 32 yards and a touchdown. Alex Miller caught 1 pass, a little swing pass for -6, and Kaya Sharon has completed 5 of 7 passes for 120 yards and 3 touchdowns. So, Robert, looks like here we're about 7 minutes away from the start of the second half, and the Briar Jumpers lead the Indians 41-7.
Yep, absolutely. Don't feel great, just can't wait. Well, Quick Care's open late. Just walk in their clinic in Med Park West, just off Bogle Street behind the hospital. Hours are 9 a.m. to 7 p.m., weekdays 10 to 3 on Saturdays. No appointment is necessary for accidents, ailments, chronic conditions, as well as health services like sports physicals, flu shots, and health screenings. They accept most major health insurance plans, and they can bill the insurance companies directly. Quick Care walk-in clinic at Med Park West. I think I've done more talking tonight than I've done all day long.
Yes, sir, and you've done a good job. Like I said, Bob Boone up in Columbus tonight. For those of you that normally listen to Bob, he has traveled up to watch his Buckeyes hopefully take a loss tomorrow.
He'll love to hear that one.
But
who are they playing tomorrow? It's
I don't even know, Robert. I try not to look at their schedule.
I know how much you pay attention to the Ohio State schedule. I think Bob might be disappointed that I don't know that. I'm thinking they play Lane Kiffin squad, Florida Atlantic, I think. But watch me be wrong, because I'm wrong. Ask my wife 90% of the time.
Well, we can take a look here and see what we can find out real
While you
quick.
do that, I'll do some more business. A big thank you to Don Franklin, Somerset Family Dealerships, Kentucky, for presenting tonight's coverage of high school football. Be sure to take advantage of the end of summer savings at any of their Somerset locations. Visit them on Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset Family Dealerships. They treat you like family.
And I believe you were right, Robert. I think you said Florida Atlantic. Ohio State opens up the season with Florida Atlantic tomorrow. Kentucky obviously opens up the 2019 college campaign against Toledo, a good Toledo team. Kentucky is not a big favorite in this game like most would expect an SEC team against a MAC team.
I've seen a lot of the so-called college sports professionals out there picking Toledo to either cover or even win that game. Wouldn't shock me. I'm not saying that. Being a Kentucky fan, you've seen a lot of good football and you've seen a lot of bad football, so it could go either way for them.
And the Wolverines tomorrow open up at home against a Middle Tennessee squad that a little overmatched. Michigan is favored by quite a lot in this game, so that's tomorrow night, 7:30. Kentucky plays at 12, Michigan at 7:30, and Ohio State plays sometime tomorrow that Bob is up there going to watch that game.
Yeah, I hope he has a great time. We're definitely missing him tonight, Bob. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah. Back here in Mount Sterling, Kentucky, where the Somerset Briar Jumpers are making their way back on the field, they're going to start getting loose, and they have put 41 points up on the Indians tonight, and they lead 41-7. Montgomery County is still in the locker room. A couple of special team players starting to come back out right now, but I'd say that they are up there right now, and I'm sure they're looking to make some adjustments and maybe try to get the ball on the perimeter again, where they've had a little bit of success tonight. maybe try to throw the ball a little bit more tonight, give himself some room, some time. But this Briar Jumper defense has done an outstanding job being able to hold this Indians offense in check.
Yeah, they've done a great job tonight. I'm sure that the coaching staff is up there telling them, don't take this loss so personal. You're 2 games into the season. You won your first one. Losing the second one's no big deal. You can regroup. You can rally the troops. And, again, give some of these younger kids some playing time on both sides of the football field. See what you got going into the following weeks.
Now, here's something to think about, too, and I know most of our listeners don't play Madden, but the Briar Jumpers did exactly what they needed to do at the end of the second half because they get the ball back to begin the second half.
Yeah.
And they went right down and scored at the end of the first half. They're going to get the ball back here with an opportunity to come right out and score again, and that's exactly what you want to try to do. So I look for the Briar Jumpers to come out with this type of lead, what they've got, and look to strike quick. And like you said earlier, if they can score here, we'll be able to have a running clock.
Get a little more business out of the way if you don't care. It's Hurry Up and Save Sale at Alton Blakely Ford. And for the first time ever, you can get an estimated savings up to 20% MSRP on select new Fords, plus complimentary maintenance through the Pass Awards. That's right, an estimated 20% off MSRP on the 2019 Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck for the past 42 years. Or pay 0% for 72 months with approved credit. Alton Blakely Ford on South Highway 27 in Somerset and AltonBlakelyFord.com. 20% and 0 finance cannot be combined. 2:25 left to go on the scoreboard, on the time in half on the Randall D. Turpin scoreboard. Somerset 41-7. Somerset's finally coming out here on the field. I was looking on the far sideline. I was trying to find out if it was just a warm-up toss between 2 people. I couldn't see the numbers. I should have brought those binoculars that Bob had last week to see if they're actually warming up anybody, if they're going to go with Kaya on the first series here to try to get this game to where the clock continuously to run. Yeah,
I'd say you're right, Robert. I would say that they'll bring the starters back out here to start the second half and hopefully get some more points on the board and get this to a running clock where they can get some of these young JV players, backup players into the game and get them some much needed experience.
Right.
I do want to say, Pat Harris came down with us tonight. Pat here is videoing the game, so hopefully we'll have some video coverage for you here later in the week like we did last week against Rockcastle.
I want to say hi to Pat, even though he can't see us. I don't know if he can peek through any of these little places down here and say hi or not, but we want to say thank you for him making the trip with us. Come out here to get some video footage for the Briar Jumper faithful that can't be here tonight.
Yeah, Pat is high atop the press box here, videoing the game. And while Robert and I get to sit here in the press box, a beautiful press box, by the way. There's all kinds of room for everybody.
Yeah.
Beautiful stadium here at Montgomery County High School tonight. We talked about the big MC in red in the middle of the field. Looks like to me that they do use this field for soccer, for some additional things. That's one thing the Somerset field, the brand new field that we've got down there, the artificial turf, synthetic turf. There was some questions about whether or not the soccer teams, whether or not other high school teams will be able to use that field. And if I'm not mistaken, I believe some of the reason was because some of the distance around the outside, they weren't able to use it as a soccer field. Do you know anything about that?
I don't, but I have heard some of the feedback from the soccer players. They actually prefer to play on grass. A lot of times the synthetic turf, as nice as it is and as easy it is to maintain, gets a little more slick for the soccer players who probably make harder cuts towards the ball than maybe some of the football players do. If you look at me, you can tell I didn't play a whole lot of soccer.
No, I did not. I had a nephew that played, and I was able to learn a little bit about the game, but I am not an expert by no means. I know you have a respect for those young men and women that play the game.
Absolutely.
And the running that they have to do. Concussions has been a topic of conversation in the football realm, but I know soccer is also a sport that they have a lot of concussions with a lot of the heads that get hit and things like that.
Yeah.
Now, Robert, I'm sitting here watching the Montgomery County kicker. He's out here on the field. I thought he was kicking from a tee.
I thought so too, and he just sailed one from about 55 yards through the uprights.
Now, this young man is putting a boot to it. I have not seen him punt like that in the game tonight, and they've had several punts, but he is really, right now, he's really lacing the ball down the field.
Now, I was going to say, if you got a punter or a kicker that can do that, I don't know why you don't stop whenever you've got the ball on the 35-yard line and just put it through the uprights. He just did it again from, 55 yards?
Yeah.
Straight through the uprights. An absolutely gorgeous kick.
And that is Zane Carter, who has handled all the kicking duties for the Indians tonight. He has kicked the ball off. He has punted. The one time that they did score, he handled the extra point attempts. And I'm telling you, that young man, he looks to be a weapon that they have not used tonight. Briar Jumpers continue to warm up the 3-minute additional period of time as the Indians finally come out of the locker room, the rest of the players to get stretched out. And we are about a minute and 30 seconds away from beginning the second half.
All right. Could you and your family benefit from counseling services? Intrust Counseling is there to meet your needs in providing services in the office, home, or school. They even offer late night and weekend appointments. Call 676-0638. Check out their new website at intrust-healthcare.com. You can also find them on Facebook.
Briar Jumpers wearing the gold helmets, Robert. That's one that's always been a favorite of mine. Over the years, I have talked to a lot of people that thought about maybe putting a purple S on there, and I've had a lot of people say, "Hey, leave it alone." And what do you think about the all gold headgear?
All right, so I'm all about whenever you see teams like Alabama or Penn State, they play football. They've got that traditional look. The Alabama has that flat maroon with the block numbering on the side. Penn State goes all white with a blue stripe. I love classic tradition. I love to be able to see just that gold helmet. I say stick with that. That's a great look.
Yeah. So as we get ready to start the second half, the Briar Jumpers have come together as a group, hoping they can come out and keep the intensity level up. And they don't let their foot off the gas a little bit and go ahead and put this one away. Montgomery County, on the other hand, they've got to find a way to get something going on the offensive side of the ball.
Yeah, if Somerset comes out and hangs another 7 points, one, you're going to get that running clock. Two, you've probably got a chance to really deflate any kind of hopes that this team's got. I'm trying to make a comeback in the second half. I'm sure that's probably the Somerset plan to come out here, do just that, try to get out of here, minimal to no injuries, get some of these young kids some playing time, and get back to the house.
This Montgomery County team, like I said, we've talked about, they have over 90-plus players dressed and on the sidelines tonight. One thing that I don't think that I mentioned at the beginning of the game, their starting quarterback, Alex Hatton, he's had a little bit of trouble throwing the ball, but he is a freshman. He's a young man that is only going to get better. And if they are able to put some kind of passing game together and then have the running game if they want to, this Montgomery County team is going to be a force to be reckoned with as the season goes on.
Yeah, I probably should have took a good look at that depth chart. Paid attention to the roster to see, how many seniors they've got on this team. I'm sure if you dress in 90 and you do some kind of math, you're probably 18 to 20 of them are probably seniors this year. If not, this team's got a lot of upside, and you got to like their chances going forward.
So as we get ready to start the second half, the Montgomery Indians are going to kick off from left to right, and number 38, that's Pruitt Lansdale, looks like he's going to kick the ball off for the Indians. And we have the 3 deep receivers for the Briar Jumpers.
Blakely Mazda offers complimentary lifetime powertrain protection with every qualifying new and pre-owned vehicle we sell. Engine covered, transmission covered, drive axles covered for life. You're covered as long as you own it, and that's on every qualifying new and pre-owned car, truck, van, and SUV, even diesel trucks. Shop with complete confidence and peace of mind with Alton Blakely's complimentary lifetime powertrain protection program. Alton Blakely Mazda, South Highway 27 Somerset, and AltonBlakelyMazda.com.
8-yard line, Alex Miller, Kay Grundy, and Cam Austin back deep to receive. And he kicks off. It's a short kick over here to the left side to Chaz Gilmore. He fields it about the 29-yard line, and he spurts right up the middle and is going to take it all the way back across the 45. Well, the Briar Jumpers are in business again. Chaz Gilmore takes it to the 46-yard line, and the Briar Jumpers are going to have 1st and 10.
Yeah, still got great field position right off of that kick. I kind of figured they probably weren't going to kick it too long right down the middle, put it back in the hands of Kay Grundy. I probably wouldn't have done that. Pretty smart heads-up play by the special teams on Montgomery County.
So the Briar Jumper is going to come out first and goal, or first and 10 from the 46-yard line, and where Kaya Sharon is going to be in the shotgun with Alex Miller right behind him. And Kaya steps back, and sure enough, he right up top to Jaden Gilmore. And here we are again, a 51-yard touchdown pass from Kaya Sharon to Jaden Gilmore. And here we have the running clock, Robert.
Yeah, well, I kind of figure they would probably get that position pretty quick. When you're already got that kind of a commanding lead, you want to get that clock running. You don't really want to pile on with this team. You want to get that clock running, get out of here, and take the victory home with you.
Wow. Right off the bat, again, that's first play of the first half of last week's game, first play of this game, first play of the second half of this game. Both of them long touchdowns from Kaya Sharon to his receivers. And the extra point is up and good by Richardson and the Briar Jumpers with 11 minutes and 47 seconds to go in the third quarter after one play, lead 48-7.
Magic Monograms has moved to 110 Creek Terrace, conveniently located off North Highway 27 between Big Lots and Backyard Burger. The place for custom embroidery, screen printing, and so much more. They can put your designs on medical, athletic uniforms, corporate, and school apparel. Find them on Facebook. Search Magic Monograms and Embroidery.
Well, if you went to the refrigerator for a snack, get something to drink, thinking you'd get back in time, you missed it.
Yeah, that was a quick play. I mean, you run 13 seconds off the clock, 55 yards, one play. Man, I mean, you just probably can't execute a play much better than that.
No, Jaden was able to get behind the defender. You know, the ball was underthrown just a tad. Jaden had to slow up, be able to get it, but was able to reel in the pass and take it on in the end zone. And, you know, again, what can you say about, Kaya sitting back here and throwing the ball? And that's why he is being looked at by UK right now as a quarterback.
Yeah, absolutely. It's a gorgeous pass. I can't praise that kid enough for tonight's performance.
So Daniel Richardson gets the okay to kick, and he's going to kick it deep down the field to Austin Eichenberger. He's going to take the ball at about the 15-yard line. He squirts across the 20 to the 25, finds a little gap, and gets across the 31-yard line where he's finally brought down by Dom Gilmore, and the Indians are going to take over first and 10 from their own 31-yard line.
Yeah, I was watching the special teams unit when they came out on the field. I saw a lot of numbers I haven't seen the rest of the game, so it's nice, again, to get some of these kids out here, get them some playing time, and get them ready for that long march, hopefully into December.
So the Montgomery County Indians are going to start here, and doesn't appear that there's a whole lot of changes in the backfield for them as well. Then I do not see Josh Wheaton in the backfield. I don't know if something has happened with that young man. It looks like they're going to go with a little more speed maybe in the back. So first and 10 from the 31-yard line, and Hatton's going to step back, and he's going to throw it up. And over here on the side, Tayton Madden has great coverage, and the ball is intended for Austin Eichenberger, and just throws it a little bit wide, and it falls incomplete.
Yeah, the ball looked a little wobbly coming out of the quarterback's hands. I didn't think that it would sail quite as far as it did. Looked a little bit uncatchable. Tate Madden was right there step for step with the young man, was able to force the catch to happen out of bounds for no gain.
Tate, as a senior defensive back, did exactly what he should do. He using that sideline as an extra defender, and he forced that receiver out wide and just was not able to do much with it. And Hatton turns around, and he hands the ball off to that's number 6, Jaden Akers, and Cale Todd shoots right through and hits him in the backfield for a loss of about 3 on the play. And it's going to bring up 3rd and 13 for the Indians.
Yeah, it was a beautiful defensive play by Cale Todd. Came through untouched, hit the player in the backfield for the loss, set up for a 3rd down and long.
So they break the huddle, and Hatton comes up quick, snaps the ball, fakes it to the first runner, and then turns around and hands it off to Jaden Akers. He gets around the left side there, picks up about 4 yards on the play, but it's not nearly going to be enough, and it's going to bring up 4th and 8 for the Indians.
They went to that play again, but it looks like that Somerset's probably made the right adjustments at the halftime. We're able to get to the outside, contain that run, and stop it for a very short gain.
So after a quick 3-and-out, incomplete pass and 2 running plays, the Indians are going to send the punt team back out on the field again. And Zane Carter, who was kicking all those bombs here in the warm-ups, is going to step at the 20-yard line and see how far he can get one off here.
Well, looks like who is it in the backfield right now? Is it Cade in the backfield? He's lined up.
Jaden.
So Jaden Gilmore's lined up about 50 yards off the ball, and you can tell why. It was a great kick.
Ooh, line drive right to him, though. Jaden's able to field it with nobody around him, and he gets to the outside, and Jaden is down the left sideline. He's all the way down to the 30, the 20, one man to beat, and it's the punter, number 47, Zane Carter, has to make a touchdown-saving tackle at the 10-yard line, or the Briar Jumpers would have scored again, Robert.
Yeah, absolutely. Beautiful return. Got to that outside edge, be able to beat a lot of the defenders coming off that kickoff. Beautiful return, set it up in the red zone again. You know, for the first part of the game, we didn't get to call that red zone very much. But the Rick Barker red zone's been full in effect since the second quarter.
You know, we talked about there in the warm-up that Zane Carter was hitting some bombs. Well, he punted that ball, had a pretty good distance on it, kicked the ball about 45 yards, but it was on a line, and Jaden was able to field it and just take it along the left side and take it all the way down to the 10-yard line for the Briar Jumpers.
Got a new quarterback in the game, looks like number 11, Matt Shadone.
And as Gerard lined up to the right of him, and he turns around and he hands the ball off to Gerard Smith, and Gerard takes it right off the right side, and he's able to take it in for another Briar Jumper touchdown from 10 yards out. And now the Briar Jumpers are running away with this thing, up 54-7 with 7 minutes and 53 seconds on the clock, even though it is running.
Yeah, I've got to watch Gerard Smith play a lot as an 8th grader last year. He was a load last year at 6'1", 195. I say this year he's coming in 6'3", probably 210, 215. Still got a lot of room to grow and a lot of weight to put on that body. He's going to be hard to handle for the next few years. So
the extra point is attempted by Richardson, and the snap is good. The hold is down. It's a low line drive that gets over the crossbar, but it is good. And so with 7:51 to go in the third quarter, the Briar Jumpers lead 55-7.
At Whitest Cabinets, they provide their customers with friendly service. They value your business, and it's their mission to provide reliable products and services. The courteous and professional team at Whitest Cabinet Design Center can turn your vision into reality. Visit the Whitest Cabinet Design Center on the corner of South 27 and Slate Branch Road to learn more about what they can do for you.
So, Robert, we talked about there at half is hopefully, with Briar Jumpers coming out and getting this type of lead that we'll be able to have some new players in the game. Well, I'll do my best to try to get you some names and numbers that are checking into the game, because I'm sure we're going to see some new faces for the rest of this game.
Yeah, and probably should. Again, you give your kids a chance to get some varsity minutes. Let them get some time out there on the field. The JV schedule, I don't know, has started yet. I think they had a game that was to be determined that was rescheduled last week. So it gives these kids some quality minutes, gives their parents a chance that they're in the stands, get out there and watch their kids play.
So Alex puts his foot to the ball here, and he kicks it down to about the 15-yard line, and that's a new Indian returner in the ball game as well. And he takes the ball across the 30-yard line. That was number 22, Rodney Potts, who takes the ball all the way up to the 30-yard line, where the Indians will start 1st and 10 from their own 30.
Yeah, like I say, give these kids a chance to get out here and play. A lot of faces, or a lot of numbers, I should say, that I can't tell exactly who they are. But it's good to see this young team come together, put some kids out there in the field and give them a chance.
So looks like Montgomery County is going to come out. Not a whole lot of changes to the offensive unit. Doesn't look like Hatton's going to come back out. Nick Huff's going to be back out there. Looks like the same unit, minus, the big one that I'm not seeing out there, Robert, is Josh Wheaton.
Must have decided to give the young man some rest going into the next. I don't know if he caught that. No, Hatton dropped straight back and threw the ball down the right side again, intended for Austin Eichenberger. And right at the last minute, Chaz Gilmore came over, knocked the ball up in the air, and it was batting around a little volleyball game between he and Austin Eichenberger, and he was able to come down with it but was out of bounds. So a nice attempt, but falls incomplete out of bounds. Right, great, actually pretty good coverage out there, but it was again, the ball came out a little wobbly, but Doesn't matter if it comes out too wide. If you can get it to your receiver, but you just got to keep it in bounds.
So Haddon breaks the huddle, hurries him up to the line of scrimmage, turns around and hands it off to that fullbacker up the middle again, and he's hitting the backfield by Kel Todd, who bounces off of him, but as he bounces away, gives opportunity for number 11. That's Matt Shadowan, and I can't see the Somerset player there that made the tackle. Is that Cam?
I can't tell. He hasn't turned his back to. Yep.
Cam Austin is able to wrap him up for a loss. So another negative yardage play for the Indians. It'll bring up 3rd and 12.
Yep, it's another Turner Realty Group 3rd down defensive stance. See if they've got what it takes to hold them to a 4-and-out or a 3-and-out.
So Haddon's under center. He steps back. He's that same play right down the field again to the right side, but he well overthrows his intended receiver, Austin Eichenberger, and it's another quick 3-and-out. And the Indians are going to be forced to punt once again.
That was a much better throw. The spiral looked great. He just overthrew his receiver by about 5 to 10 yards. The same play that they called last time, just a little bit long.
Yeah, he just, if he maybe given this a little more time, maybe something would have developed right there, but he just hauled back and winged it down the field, and it was about 8 yards beyond his intended receiver. So Montgomery County here 4th and 12 from their own 28-yard line, back to punt, and it rolls back to him. He has to try to cover it up. He's in trouble. He's being chased by the Briar Jumpers, and they are going to get him for a huge loss at the 10-yard line, and the ball is ripped out. Ripped out by Jacob Smith.
Yeah, Gerard Smith's twin brother.
Gerard Smith, Jared Smith rips it out and takes it on in the end zone for another Briar Jumper touchdown.
Man, ladies and gentlemen, I want to tell you right now, Jacob and Gerard Smith as freshmen, you know, the physical specimens, both of them. Strong, big, young men. Can't say it enough. Just get used to that name because you're going to get to hear it a lot.
So the Indians are falling apart.
Yeah, well, when you're getting if he makes his kick, it's 62-7 with 4:02 left in the 3rd quarter. That is pretty demoralizing for any team that you want to play.
Yeah, so it was a bad snap, and it was taken away. You know, they wrapped him up, and I'm telling you, Jacob did a great job. They had him stood up, trying to bring him down. He reached in there and just ripped it out. Ball went flying back towards the end zone. He just went back there and recovered it and took it on in for a touchdown.
Yeah, hindsight being 20/20, if you're the kicker on that play, when you're down looking like it's going to be down within the 2-yard line, you might want to just kick it to the back of the end zone, take the 2 points, try to get some defense out on the field, see what happens.
So here we are with 4 minutes and 2 seconds to go in the 3rd quarter. The Briar Jumpers lead the Montgomery County innings 62-7.
I want to thank Buffalo Wings and Rings for providing the video games of the week and the audio games of the week. Be sure to watch Buffalo Wings and Rings video game of the week on LakeCumberlandSports.com. Our next video cast is Friday, September 6th, Beechwood at Somerset at Buffalo Wings and Rings. You can watch those on the live screens. They'll be having the audio and video playing. The wings that are there are created and all are created fresh and never frozen.
So kicking off for the Briar Jumpers now is Tommy Wombles, and Tommy kicks it down to about the 10-yard line where the Indians return it back up to the 30-yard line, Robert?
Yeah.
Is that where they spot the ball?
Gerard Smith actually had a beat on the young man at about the 20-yard line. Tried to arm tackle. You can't really do that. You got to put a body into him. I think Gerard knows exactly what he did. He walked off the field, looked a little dejected, shaking his head. But that's all right. You had somebody there in the backfield to make the play.
So the Indians are going to come out. Looks like, again, not much change to their offensive front. A lot of new faces for the Briar Jumpers on defense. But with 3 minutes and 6 seconds on a running clock, down 62-7, Indians take over 1st and 10 on their own 31. Hatton's going to turn around and hand the ball right up the middle to his fullback. That's number 30, Dylan Cundiff, and he's going to double skin it. Referees are going to blow the play dead after a gain of about 2.
like number 67. I can't tell if that's the number or not. Trying to look and see who that was. Drew Johnson. That can't be right. Wouldn't think that he'd be
61 maybe?
Could be. If that's 61, then shout out to young Mr. Lucas Childers of the freshman getting some playing time. You like to see that. I think I need my glasses.
So after a gain of 2, it's going to bring up 2nd and 8 for the Indians. Hatton's going to turn around and fake it to the first man through, and then going to give it to Tanner Orme. He's going to go around the outside, and he's going to fumble the ball, and the Briar Jumpers are going to fall on it, and I can't tell, 33, is that Andrew Childers?
If so, that was a heck of a play.
Andrew Childers is going to come up with a fumble recovery for the Briar Jumpers, and they're back in business again. Robert going to take over from the Montgomery County 28-yard line.
Right, and the referees are down there signaling for that clock just to run. Hats off to the young man for making the play. Stripped the ball out. Looked like it was going to roll out of bounds. Able to get out there, jump on top of the ball, and retain possession.
So Briar Jumpers are going to take over, and I'm sure that we're going to have a lot of fresh faces in here. And yes, Matt Shadowan is going to be at quarterback. He's going to have Gerard Smith lined up in the backfield with him. They've got 2 wide receivers left, 2 wide receivers right, trying to get set up. Matt calls the signal, takes the snap, throws a little pitch up in front of him to Chaz Gilmore, and Chaz is going to get around the left side all the way down to the 10-yard line, to the 7, and he's taken down to at the 6-yard line. So Chaz Gilmore with a speed play around the left side takes it all the way down to the 6-yard line.
That little shovel pass really effective. The young offensive line that's out there able to maintain block, get him to the outside, let the young athlete make a play. It was well executed, well designed.
So Briar Jumpers here, 1st and goal in the red zone again, Robert. He's going to line up with Shadow in the backfield, and he's going to have number 35, Guy Bailey, lined up in the backfield with him. He's going to turn around and hand it off to Guy, and Guy's going to go right off the right side, and he's going to walk in for another Briar Jumper touchdown from 6 yards out, and this game is officially out of hand.
Yeah, what is that? That's going to tack it up to 68, put another point on the board at 69. Whew.
You love to see this for the Briar Jumpers and the Briar Jumper faithful. Being able to come out here and get some kids that have a lot of opportunity to get in the game and do some things, put up this type of points on the board. But on the other side of the field, Montgomery County, I think, had some bigger aspirations coming in this game, and they just did not show up tonight.
Right. It's a great game, well executed design play for Somerset. I guess, even though the clock has expired, they will let this kick happen to end the actual quarter. There's still things to take away from this game if you're Montgomery County. You're the first team out of 2, of course. You're still the first to actually put 7 points on the board against that Briar Jumper defense. That's to be, commended. And the game wasn't out of hand, even when it was 21-7 and they were driving, So, hey, kudos for the fight that they put up for the quarter and a half that they were able to.
You're exactly right. And they line up to kick the extra point. Like you said, the time had expired, but they want to let them go ahead and kick the extra point, and it is up and good. And with beginning of the 4th quarter, the Briar Jumpers lead this one 69-7.
Any sport, any season, sports physicals at Quick Care are only $25. Don't make an appointment. Just pay for an office visit. Don't sit around the waiting room for an hour. Quick Care gets you in and out and on the field for less. They're conveniently located right behind the hospital just off Bogle Street in Med Park West, and they're open late, 9 to 7 on weekdays and 10 to 3 on Saturdays. Quick Care serving Somerset and Pulaski County for over a decade.
So here we are back to begin the 4th quarter, and Tommy Wombles is going to kick it deep to the Indians to start the 4th, moving from left to right now. Back deep for the Indians, going to have Rodney Potts and another young man that I can't pick up his number, Robert. Tommy puts his foot to it. It's a high kick. It's fielded at the 25 on the run by Potts, and he's going to come all the way up to the 35-yard line.
Yeah, gobbled up by number 34. which would be Jake Witt. Good for you, young man. You played on that 8th grade team again last year, freshman this year. Love to see those young men out there making plays.
So coming out for Montgomery County here to open up the first possession of the fourth quarter, Hatton is going to stay in the game and bring the Montgomery Indians offense on the field. If you take a look out here on the defense for the Briar Jumpers, they've got, had 12, 13 guys out there trying to get some new players on the field, running them off. We'll see what happens here. Indians trying to get some players onto the field late. They only had 10 out there.
10 against 11 is probably not a good combination you want to run up against.
So first down, and Hatton turns around and hands off to big fullback that's in there in place of Wheatley. Looks like it's number 30 for Montgomery, Dylan Cundiff, and he's brought down after a gain of about 9.
Yeah, by Big Gerard Smith coming in there and making a play. Positive yardage, though. You'll take that if you're Montgomery County. Go down here and, I don't want to see him punch one in. But then again, you kind of want to see him go down there, get something that they can build off of, and continue to play this game.
That's the one thing that Montgomery's not been able to do much of on first down is be able to get positive yards. And when they do, it opens up some things for them to be able to do some stuff that they don't normally do. And here they on the next play, they turn around, they hand the ball off to Cameron Scruggs, and he's able to scoot around the right side. Only gains about 2 yards, but it's enough for a first down for Montgomery. That's the first time in a long time they've had a first down.
That's right. I'm not going to say it too loud, but it looked like they got away with a huge hold on that outside line. But you know what? 69-7, do you think I'm going to really make a big deal out of it?
I think these referees are ready to get out of here as well.
Yeah, they probably are.
So Hatton turns around. He's going to hand it off to second man through. Oh, he's running hard across there, but there's 3 Briar Jumpers ready to meet him at the point of contact, and that was Andrew Childers and Dom Gilmore able to bring him down after a gain of about 11 on the play. And that's another first down for the Indians.
Give a little quick score update. Looks like it's 21-14. Madison Southern still leading Southwestern, but Southwestern trying to make a game out of it. Good for them.
So 1st and 10 for Montgomery Indians at their own 43. Turns around. He's going to turn around and give it off to number 21 again. That's Corey Barber, and he's brought down there at the 40-yard line by Andrew Childers once again, coming up from his outside linebacker spot. Gerard Smith's in there again. But after a gain of about 5 yards, so Montgomery's putting some positive yards on the Briar Jumper defense.
Again, you take that, you can learn from that. I know that you're playing against the younger part of that Somerset defense, but it's a positive thing to use for your own personal momentum.
Hatton turns around and hands it off to Dylan Cundiff, and he's brought down almost immediately by the entire defensive line by the Briar Jumpers, and he'll go down for they're going to be generous and give him a yard on the play.
Yeah, it brings up a third down play. This young Somerset defense rising to the occasion, making it interesting.
So after the short gain on the play by Dylan Cundiff, it's going to be 3rd and 5, and they break the huddle, come to the line of scrimmage, and Hatton comes up, hurries up, takes a snap, turns around, fakes it again. It's the exact same play we've seen here about 4 or 5 times in a row by number 28, Tanner Orme, and he's brought down with a great tackle there by Matt Shadow on number 11 at the 32-yard line, but that's going to be enough for an Indian first down.
I see you, Matt Shadow, and I know his dad, Corey, probably over there on the sidelines, really fired up about making that play. Another score update. Looks like it's PC on top of Wayne County, 22-20 with 7 minutes to go in the game.
So it's 1st and 10 for the Indians here. Hatton takes the snap, turns around, fakes the ball right up the middle to Dylan Cundiff, and Tanner Orme takes it off the right side for another big chunk play for 9 yards to Robert. So Montgomery here, even though it is against the second team of the Briar Jumper defense, having a little success here now with some positive yards.
That's right. 2nd and 1, short. It's been a long, sustained drive, taking time off the clock. But, you know, if you're Montgomery County, that's probably what you want to do. Milk the clock, get down there and put some points on the board.
Haddon turns around. He hands it off to the big fullback again, Dylan Cunningham, right up the middle. And he's going to go just across the line to gain about the 21-yard line and going to have a first down for the Indians there after a good push by the offensive line.
Yeah, you take another first down, continue to milk the clock, get some more plays in, get some more repetition, give some time for these younger kids to develop.
So it's going to be 1st and 10 for the Indians at the 20, their Briar Jumper 21-yard line. Hatton's going to turn around. He's going to fake it this time. He's got a man wide open in the end zone. It's juggled, and is it going to be complete?
It is.
It is going to be complete, and that looks like it's Devin Johnson again, who caught the one only pass earlier in the game coming from the tight end spot, and he's going to have a touchdown. Got behind the secondary, and the Indians are going to score, and it's going to make it 69-13 with 5 minutes and change to go in the game.
Again, another learning thing that you can give to the young Somerset Jumpers out there playing on defense. You show them the film, show them where they went wrong, make some adjustments, and get them ready to play.
You're exactly right. They have keys. They're reading the end, and he blocks down. They come up. He released on that play, and he was too late getting back. The ball was thrown a little bit behind him, but he made a acrobatic catch and was able to fall in the end zone. They're going to line up and go for 2 here. Hatton's going to turn around and fake it and is going to fumble the handoff, and the ball is going to be recovered by the Indians, but the 2-point conversion is not going to be any good. So with 4 minutes and 46 seconds to go in the game, the Briar Jumpers lead the Indians 69-13.
A big thank you to Don Franklin Somerset Family Dealerships, Kentucky, for presenting tonight's coverage of high school football. Be sure to take advantage of the end of summer savings at any of their Somerset locations. Visit them on Facebook at Don Franklin Somerset Family Dealerships. They treat you right. It's the Hurry Up and Save sale at Alton Blakely Ford. And for the first time ever, you can get an estimated savings up to 20% MSRP on select new Fords, plus complimentary maintenance through the Pass Awards. That's right, an estimated 20% off MSRP on the 2019 Ford F-150, America's best-selling truck for the past 42 years. Or save 0% for 72 months with approved credit. Alton Blakely Ford on South Highway 27 in Somerset at altonblakelyford.com. 20% off and 0 finance cannot be combined.
Yes, sir. So here we are. The Montgomery County Indians are lining up. We're going to try to kick it off here. Lining up to kick it off is Pruitt Lansdale. Deep for the Briar Jumpers. You really haven't worked on a second-team return team, so you have Kay Grundy, Jaden Gilmore, and Cam Austin back deep to return. This could be dangerous if they decide to kick the ball deep.
Yeah, I don't see them trying to kick the ball too deep. They'll probably try to go one of those, right towards the 20-yard line.
Little pooch punt, and it's going to hit about the 20-yard line, take one bounce, and going to roll out of bounds. So the Briar Jumpers will take over at the 35-yard line. 1st and 10 with 4 minutes and 20 seconds to go in a 69-13 game.
It's been an excellent night for football. Even though this clock's been running, it's another one that seems like it's taken 2 years off of my life.
So I would like to take a moment again to shout out to Jaywalk Productions, 2019 SHS Football Facebook group. They will be filming the entire season within the group with highlights, reels, player interviews, season updates, and more. Don't miss out. Head on over to Jaywalk Productions, that's JWALK, on Facebook, and join now.
3:49 left to go. Randall Turpin scoreboard 69-13 with 3 minutes and 45 seconds and still counting down. Looks like another new quarterback in the game.
That's Josh Gross, and he's going to hand it off to Guy Bailey, and Guy Bailey is going to squirt free. He's going to take the ball all the way down to the Montgomery County 20-yard line. That's just poor tackling by the Indians, and Guy kicked it into another gear, and he's all the way down into the red zone once again, Robert.
Young man having a great night. He's 20 yards away from pay dirt. See, if they put the ball back in his hands again, I say that, and they're taking him off the field. But great young man, good young man. I've met him a few times, perfect to be around. Glad he's having some success tonight.
So like we said, that's Josh Gross in there at quarterback. He's going to have number 34, Jake Witt, lined up to the right side of him. He takes a snap, he hands it off, and he is going to break it up the middle, cuts back all the way down to the 6-yard line. That's a great run right there by Jake Witt. Made a good cut and took it all the way down to the 6.
That's 2 freshman running backs right in a row. Gives you a lot of hope for the future of the Somerset Briar Jumper football team.
Wow, I'm telling you, they're just, they've had big chunk plays all night long.
Absolutely.
So Josh lines up in the scrimmage, and he's got Jake Witt left to the left of him. He fakes the snap, going to keep it himself, and he's going to be stopped in the backfield for a loss of about 4 on the play. Going to bring up 2nd and goal from the 10-yard line.
Josh, got to watch him last year on that 8th grade team. He's small, looks like in stature from where you stand, but he is deceivingly fast. That ball was snapped a little bit high, caused the play to get off on a little bit of timing. But I wouldn't be shocked for them to try that and play again and give that young man some confidence going forward.
Yeah, you're right. I think that the high snap, Robert, really blew up that play from the get-go. And now, Somerset's going to take their time in the huddle. They trying to let this clock run out. They don't want to put any more points on the board, but we'll see. So Josh Gross lines up in the backfield. He's got Gerard Smith lined up to the right of him. He hands it off to Gerard. He's fighting for some yards. He gets across the 10-yard line down to about the 8. It's going to bring up 3rd and goal for the Briar Jumpers at the 8-yard line.
Yeah, with 1:13 left to go in the game and the clock still running, they'll probably have time for one more play to finish this game. I don't think they're going to do anything fancy. They'll probably run it right up the middle. If they score, I think they take it. But if they don't, they're all right with it. 69 points on offense, it's a pretty good night.
Yes, sir, it is. And the clock continues to run. We're under a minute now, 48 seconds and counting. Briar Jumpers break the huddle. Josh Gross in the shotgun. Gerard Smith to the right. He's waiting. Calling out a long signal, trying to take as much time as he can off the clock. He fakes it to Gerard. He's going to keep it around the right side, and he is going to get in for another Somerset Briar Jumper touchdown. And that's going to put the exclamation point on the end of it, Robert.
Right. I kind of figured they would probably try to run another one of those plays right to Josh. Great end-to-end speed on the young man. What a great upside for that young man. I'm hoping the best for his future.
Yes, sir. So 75-13.
I don't know that even if you wanted to kick, you take the kick. You just walk this one off, line up, shake hands, get off the field.
And that's going to be the final horn. They're not even going to kick the extra point. And both teams here lining up, going to shake hands and go across here. And Coach Robbie Lucas has got to be happy with the way this one played out tonight.
Right. Offensively,